you down. We'll get into that in a minute, actually, because I was considering that. A 5-second broadcast just now.
It's not as simple as a problem.
Sin, are we okay?
Hmm?
Hmm?
I think we're okay.
Okay, it says there was a 21-second last update and it stopped now. Or did something happen? Is it me?
I see things happening.
Okay, it's probably just me then. Well, hello out there, people who are realizing that Casey doesn't know how technology works. It's nice to see you. And welcome back to Captain Reboot. And we're doing Burn Bryte, which is Roll20's playtest of a new game system. And we are doing Burning Daylight, which is their little playtest module. And I am making a complete mess of it. But that's okay, because I don't know the rules. And I'm pretty sure someone just yelled death in the background, but that's okay. So, what has happened so far? We found out about the Brytes, which are great swapping segments of time spanning the galaxy. We found out about the Burn Bryte, which is the current Bryte that the galaxy of Alaxis is in. And that Bryte is identified by the existence of the burn, a galaxy-ending phenomenon that has surrounded all of known space and is moving at leaps and bounds in towards the center. Some scientists estimate only 500 years remain before the galaxy is swallowed entirely. This has caused quite a bit of panic, and people have fled from the edge of the galaxy, moving towards its center, where land became quite expensive. One such planet, near the center of the galaxy, but not a prime location, is where the adventurers, we'll call them for now, find themselves. A planet given over to pleasure and vice, covered entirely by a city given to gambling. Now, the party had, prior to arriving, managed to rescue several botanists who were growing hallucinogenic herbs that sold for quite a considerable sum on the planet. With a little bit of argent in their pockets, the currency of the galaxy, the team, we'll call them, set out for a night on the town. They decimated the hopes and dreams of one beggar, the person literally falling to pieces in front of them. They?
I would say they.
Yeah.
Not they. We're going to really single it out.
Some of them.
Some of them?
Not the majority. Well, I mean, I don't know if I count it as a majority, considering quantity, but... Not this one.
Yeah.
Not this one. So the blame is starting to spread around. But Yark has collapsed. A peacecraft, a semi-robotic denizen of the galaxy named Loop, who was just trying to sell off a couple of components, make a little money, get back to the tables where he's sure to win it back. Also had a run-in with some of the troop, and came away with some damaged goods and a bit of a mess. But, no harm, no foul. The culprit disappeared into the crowds before anything could be noticed. After a lovely meal and some karaoke, and I believe even some karaoke performances, the party rushed out into the street at the sounds of screams. A person a Cree Mortalis was being assaulted by what looked to be cultists in robes. Bolts of flame, laser beams were exchanged, wounds were suffered, and eventually, all but one of the cultists, wearing their fancy robes, were struck down. The final one making a frantic dash for it, putting on a burst of speed and a gout of flames emerging behind them as they leapt into a luxury spacecraft and prepared to launch a lamppost and a few other things came sailing through the air in an effort to stop this vehicle from taking off, but to no avail. And the craft has started to take to the sky. And as it did, something curious happened. And I'm not sure if this has happened in the past. I'm going to ask Rob in just a second, or Robe, rather, if the rest of his associates were aware of this ability. For Robe rushed forward and started to change, starting to jump into the air and take flight. Now, as this happened, Vebu, the Olren, a crystalline figure, I believe, grabbed hold of Robe. And then Koba grabbed hold of Vebu. So a chain of the party has started to build as they head up into the air, possibly putting some strain on Robe's thrusters. At the same time, there's a bit of a sizzle and smoke and spark coming from the fallen bodies of the cultists. And at the very moment, Robe, Koba, and Vebu's feet are leaving the ground, the bodies of the cultists are bursting into flame. And that's where we're going to freeze frame for a moment and kind of pan around and figure out what's going on. Now, I know that the acolyte in the spacecraft that is launching is in a vehicle that can travel faster than light. But there's a lot of atmosphere in the way. So that's got to get a couple of kilometers up before it can really kick in the boosters. Zote, you're standing right next to several bodies that are about to burst into flame. Robe, you've got a few under you that are also about to go off, as do Vebu and Koba, and Tina is, I think, holding one of these bodies in sort of a puppet-like fashion. Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
I believe the term is weekend at Bernie'sing.
Weekend at Bernie'sing. That is the appropriate scientific term. Thank you.
Everything happened too fast for her to execute what she was going to do, so she kind of just stood there like, what? Making him look all confused as things were going on around her.
As I pan the camera down away from the acolyte in the ship that's, a few meters off the ground, thrusters on high, wishing to get as much altitude as possible, we look down to Zote and the Overguild, who are now in the back blast of thrusters, surrounded by bodies that are about to burst into flame. And as this is happening, Zote, I'm going to ask you to give me a Complexity 2 skill roll of your choice to save yourself, and if you wish, a Complexity 3 skill roll to save your friend who's standing beside you, looking rather confused and screaming quite loud through his mandibles.
Okay. All right. So I think I'm going to attempt to justify athletics to do a get down Mr. President kind of move.
Okay.
Where I basically tackle him this way, to the south.
Mm-hmm.
And try to basically leap and land here, both on the laid out on the ground, so we're hopefully out of the range of both the thrusters and these guys who are blowing up.
Just to be clear, your large-bodied, bulbous forms are going to hide behind a prone light post.
Well, not exactly hide behind the prone light post. I'm hoping to get out of the way enough so that way, when we're on the ground, the thrusters will go over us, as I imagine the ship is tall. And these guys will just be far enough away from that it won't matter.
I like this plan. Now, is it self-serving or self-sacrifice? Are you bringing Mr. President with you?
I am bringing Mr. President with me, yes.
Okay. Who are you saving first at the difficulty 2 roll?
Oh, I see. I have to make 2 separate rolls. I understand.
2 separate ones. 1 at 2, 1 at 3.
Okay. I am going to use 2 of my newly acquired arms to sort of chuck him forward first.
Mm-hmm.
That is my first roll. So I have no actions. Okay, yeah, for difficulty 2. All right. So first check.
That is a pass.
Okay. So I get him out of the way, and then second check. Ooh, I do not get myself out of the way, though.
You do not get yourself out of the way. And what that means is we are out of combat at the moment, so that is a little button here that I push.
You must choose between hurting 2 allies.
You must choose between hurting 2 allies. Now, I see allies. I see you wanted to get out of the way fast. I think as you're throwing yourself forward, your new friend may have landed right where you are. And perhaps the only other method to not squish your new friend would be to grab onto the chain forming that's flying overhead, and instead of landing, go up. So do you land on your new friend, or do you try and put extra strain on Robe and Koba and Vebu?
I do not believe in Vebu or Koba's ability to physically hold me.
Hey.
In any way. I'm like 7 to 9 feet tall of exoskeleton bugs.
I'm thousands of bugs.
Exactly, yeah, exactly correct. I do not trust your ability to physically hold me. So, also I think it's funnier if I deliberately tried to get him out of the way in the first place and then land on him. That amuses me more. So I'm choosing that one. Besides, he's a bug too. He's probably got an exoskeleton. He'll be fine.
He'll be fine. He'll be fine with 1 less health as you land atop him.
You could say I was doing that. I was doing that to protect him, right? Like I'm covering him so that way, if a bomb goes off, he'll be protected.
I mean, I'm sure anyone who wasn't there to witness it would say that.
Yep. Correct.
But so now I'm gonna hold off on this big 3-chain event happening, and instead ask Tina. Your weekend at Bernie's fellow is getting rather warm.
He's starting to explode.
Explosively hot, in fact. I need a difficulty skill roll of your choice, complexity 2. What are you doing to avoid taking damage as the person you were puppeteering is blowing up in your face?
Likely kind of like shoving him one way and me the other way. I mean, I can't deceive my way out of this one.
I mean, I'd love to hear you explain how. Just turn to someone else and say, "Hold this for me."
Is that all athletics?
Athletics works for me.
Or is there a dex one?
I mean, athletics takes some dexterity. What are you asking for specifically?
Well, I'm thinking D&D, like shoving and getting out of the way of exploding things.
Oh,
but,
no! You justify whatever
shove.
you would like to use there. You go ahead and take a look down, and if you want to say shoving, you're like punching him again, like a melee attack. You're like gonna blast him across the street. Power throw, athletics more dodgy, skullduggery. Maybe you're just doing the old side stepperoo.
where he is. I forget. But kind of just shoving him one way and stepping the other way, and
Sure.
skillfully dodging.
Skillfully dodging.
Hopefully
skillfully-
skillfully
I
dodging.
mean, give me a pick from the list. Athletics, skullduggery seem to be where you're dithering between. Skullduggery is kind of the.
Skullduggery.
Okay.
Is the...
Well done. You step away, and you are so smooth about it that the body remains standing until it explodes, unaware that you are no longer supporting it. However, the gout of flame is rather impressive. As this is happening, I just need to shift the robe for a moment because I thought there was another one hiding under there. No, there is not. So, Robe, you are the only one closest to the new convert. Who is, however, exploding. That is going to be of concern. Now, you do have 2 people hanging on to you. So give that a little bit of thought as you decide what you're doing. Difficulty or complexity is still just a 2 for you. But depending on what you do, it might affect others. So what are you doing?
Muted?
Still muted.
Oh, he's pulling a
Thank
Sean.
I resent that.
Well, my priority would be to make sure those two chuckle fucks don't get hit by the explosion.
Mm-hmm.
He would probably, while taking off, make sure to twist in a way where they're away from the body. And generally try to go up and away, or like, and jumping up, like while starting to fly up, like jumping. Athletics is what I'm arguing here.
That sounds reasonable to me. That sounds like an athletic maneuver.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. So.
Oh fuck! That was with the difficulty 5 though.
Okay, go ahead and give me that one again at a difficulty 2.
Okay.
That's a little better.
Yeah.
You made that look hard, but really, it was okay. So, you have all avoided the bursting forms of the acolytes, the cultists. However, rising into the air, that pleasure craft is getting further and further away. It now comes round to who's doing something about that?
Rob would be shooting with his laser rifle at its engines.
Okay. Now you're shooting with your laser rifle. So let's make that combat. Let's clear the old combat order here. Ask you guys to go ahead and roll your initiatives. And I believe that does not work, so I'm going to add people back to the turn order here.
And we can roll any skill for initiative, right?
Any skill, correct.
Alright.
Now remember, when rolling that skill, this does count towards one of your rolls, so if you want to use up one of those checkboxes and get yourself closer to a Nova point,
And
stretch.
so when we get
I mean,
all of
I
those
only
check
have
marks,
I have one check mark from Nova Point.
Okay.
So, and that's for one use of a thing.
One use of a thing. Each time you use a die, you get to check off that die's check mark. And once you've checked off all those check marks, you get yourself a Nova point.
and at that point, do you uncheck all of them?
And at that point, you uncheck all of them and gain 1 Nova point. Correct.
Alrighty.
Alrighty.
We
Good.
all rolling.
Anybody who would like to try and do something?
Uh,
Guess I'll try. We'll try, right?
Sure.
I
I
have
mean,
nothing I can do. Oh well.
what could go wrong? Where'd my buddy Rob go? There he goes. All right. The biggest number I happen to see looks like is 17. Let me just do a quick... Yep, 4 is not very high. So, you're going to laugh at him?
Yeah, I am. Correct.
That's mean. That is mean. Tina, however, having just left your puppet friend to explode, you are on the ground. Your friends are slowly taking to the air. What are you doing?
So this thing is how high now?
For the sake of simplicity, we'll say 30 feet at this instant.
I think she will run up closer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm looking. It is. I forget how this works. So the 5 is 5 squares, right?
5 is 5 squares. You got it.
4, 5.
Free movement accomplished, and you are now at your standard difficulty of 2.
Okay, so
Except for the one thing you have a negative modifier on, which I think might be ranged.
yes, but she's gonna do that anyway. 'Cause that's
Okay.
all she has.
Difficulty is 3.
3. So she is going to laser rifle at I guess the engine area is trying to blow something.
Okay.
Do ranged. It's still rolling power, but it's the same die.
You were set to initiative, so though that is a pass, a 2, a 1, and a 4, no doubles, your laser eats away at the shimmering field surrounding the ship. Apparently, it was shielded, though it looks like it took a bit of a chunk off of it.
It says power for both. I was just checking. But yeah.
Yeah, but
Same
it does
die
say power
roll.
for both. Yep. So that is your first action. Your difficulty was a 2, upgraded to a 3 because of your burns on your arm and leg obtained when you leaned against a fiery hot
Living.
car. Are you taking another action? You pushing your luck.
Can she fire again?
You may fire as many times as you have actions.
It's just going up 1 each
Goes
time?
up 1. You got it.
She will do that.
Complexity 4. 1. Oh, that's a doubles.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
That's a lot of
Alright.
doubles there.
It's a lot of doubles. Thankfully, it's only 1 failure, so I get to ask, would you like to give the DM a collapse point, which he can use for nefarious purposes, or would you like to take a roll on that failure table?
I'll take a roll. YOLO.
Everybody likes the rolls.
Infects.
Something bad infects an ally. Ruh-roh.
I like that.
I don't know what that might be. So, tell me what that might be. What are you doing?
Infects?
Infects. So, let's see. We've got
maybe like her seeing. So that's a fail.
that is a fail. So something bad has happened. Life has become complicated for you.
So maybe like seeing the shields and like her fail one could look like it's almost bouncing off. It could give somebody a bit of doubt as to whether or not they could actually get there.
Okay.
I don't know if that would.
So what you're saying is your bad mood is infecting other people?
No, like her just the way it makes sense in my head. The way like how it looks when her lasers are bouncing off the thing,
Okay.
it might just look like the shields are way stronger than they are,
Okay.
which would maybe infect somebody with a be like, well shit, we can't get through there, especially as it's like
Okay.
because she's standing on the ground. I'm not sure how like what could infect somebody.
All right. So I'll throw it over to the team. Would anybody like to fall upon the sword and be the person who is infected? by these bad vibes, this impression that the shields are simply insurmountable on this craft.
Sure, I'll do it.
All right. Zote stepping up. So, with the fail comes the end of the turn, and we find out what Vebu the Olren, now dangling from Robe a few feet off the ground, and exploding cultists just below. What you doing up there?
Oh, well, I mean, obviously we're gonna shoot it.
Obviously.
You know, it's a ship, and it's got a shield, so we're just gonna shoot it.
We are going to shoot it, and we do indeed shoot it. And another chunk of that impregnable shield fades away in all eyes except Zote's. You doing anything else there?
I'm gonna also on as I'm latching on the robe over here, I'm gonna take a look at it, like where I'm latching on in his systems.
Mhm.
Be like, it's okay. I know there's added weight. I'm gonna compensate, and I'm gonna try to get this advantage using computers.
Okay. That seems reasonable. Let's go ahead and see a difficulty or complexity 3 on computers, and that is a pass. You have added 1 advantage to the team's pool. Please go ahead and update that spot on the ship sheet. And Vebu, anything else you'd like to do?
No, I would like to hang on for dear life.
Hang
for
on
what's
for
coming.
dear life. Zote, on the
Okay.
ground, squishing your buddy. He doesn't look too bloody.
I am, which is rough for him, but I don't mind. Okay, so I guess I'm gonna sort of roll over, and look up. Would the infection of the seeing the shield so bad, would that basically increase the complexity if I wanted to try to shoot at it?
I feel that it
As
would.
I'm filled with doubt.
I feel that seems right.
Okay,
I
sure.
I feel like you're over aiming at the shield rather than the ship.
That's fair. Okay, so it's like, I don't know if this is gonna do anything, but might as well try, right? And
Alright.
he's going to pull out his massively powerful laser pistol.
Massively powerful laser
Yeah,
pistol.
it's very powerful.
All right.
And he's going to attempt to bring down the ship
Okay.
with his laser pistol.
A complexity 3 roll, if you would.
Yeah, I don't know if any of you have ever seen the Earth film Saving Private Ryan, but at the end when Tom Hanks is shooting his pistol at the tank, it's like that but less depressing. I'm just gonna use ranged because I need the D4
Okay.
for it to get a Nova point.
This statistically, this is improbable.
Improbable, but not impossible.
That's very true.
Not impossible.
Not
Heyo!
impossible. There you go. The enormously powerful pistol does strike home on the ship. Does that enormously powerful pistol do more than 1 damage?
Well, strictly speaking,
Strictly
no.
speaking. Okay.
No.
So a little paint is chipped off of this pleasure craft. But I'm sure if someone was to aim for that exact same spot, it could do some more damage. And in fact, you have another opportunity to do something if you choose.
Ask my buddy if he's okay. Is that an action?
Oh, there, Fran. You got a foot in my mouth. A little hard to talk.
I remove my foot and I say, sorry, I've got so many. It's hard to keep track sometimes.
Oh, I know the feeling. Yeah.
But no, that is my turn because if I attempt to shoot again, it will be literally impossible, not just mostly impossible.
Fair enough. As Zote deals with the overboss on the ground, Robe, we find out what you would like to do. Robe, what would you like to do?
How far away from the ship would you say we are at this point?
Well, let's say they're about 30 feet up. They're about...
And I'm about 30 feet tall.
And you're about 30 feet tall, and they're about 30 feet away. So I'll say they're roughly 30-some feet away from you.
Alright. Damn. So I can get real close, but I can't
real
quite make
close. Well, you can if you use another action to move. Because remember, you get your free move, and then you just have to go ahead and use another action to move. So go ahead and use your free if you want to draw closer. I mean, what could go wrong? Bum rushing a spaceship.
About as big as the spaceship is. It's fine.
It's totally okay.
Use the lamppost as, like, a hook.
Oh, right. So is Rob still on the ground?
You were taking off, so you are in lifter mode, but you haven't really moved yet.
All right.
You're like at that cool effect where like the blue flames jetting out across the ground. You're starting to lift, but momentum, and then all of a sudden Vebu and Koba are just, and you're like, oh, maybe turn up the thrusters a little more.
Yeah. All right. So Rob is just gonna get on up there.
Alrighty. And those hanging on, please hang on and move along. And you are now within 5 to 10 feet of this pleasure craft. Rob, what you doing now?
So, I know that, like, rule-wise, you're only supposed to have a range of 5 feet.
Uh-huh.
But I think my arms are probably at least 8 feet long.
Nah, I'm gonna be a butthead right now.
All right, that is fair. That is
I
very
want to see
fair.
some failures happen. So I think I'm gonna insist on that extra movement roll just to get that difficulty a little higher. If you would like to be within 5 feet.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and Rob is charging at this thing.
Okay. And what skill would you say you're using as you're making your way?
It's power, as he's just stomping straight at it.
Or you got it. Complexity 2 or action 1. Power, please give me a roll. That is fine. You have plenty of thrust, even with Vebu and Koba dangling from you. Well, Vebu actually perched rather nicely. Koba just sort of swarms. It's a little weird. But, what you doing now that you're right up in there?
We're just gonna continue momentum and then go up and tackle it.
Yes,
we
tackle
are
the
tackling
spaceship.
the spaceship.
We are tackling the spaceship. I love it. Let's roll it.
That's probably another power roll, I'd say.
That seems appropriate.
Ooh.
You do tackle the spaceship, and we're going to consider that a point of damage to the spaceship. This one, not physical damage, but fighting back on the thrusters. It's still got some juice left to it, though. You could maybe wrestle it down if you manage that again.
Yep. Rob is gonna see that as tackle. Didn't really do a whole lot to the spaceship.
Well, I mean, you got it, and it's your thrusters versus its thrusters, but you need a little more to make it down.
So Rob is now going to grab onto the ship and either completely cut his jets or point them down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he'll point them down to try and add both his weight and the extra thrust down.
Gotcha.
And, you know, like being a robot, he's like doing all the computation for like, alright, pushing the ship and myself down. Can I argue that's a computer's role?
I feel you could argue it. I would like to hear maybe a little bit more than just your own computation, though. We do have Vebu up there. Give me just a little something other than just a computation, though.
Alright, Robin would be like looking over the other ship, doing all of the, not only just that, but the computation of himself, but like, can he logically push down this ship? How effective will it be? Will the ship's thrust be greater than his?
Okay, let's see it.
I think Koba and Vebu would be helping too. Like, nope, left, down, further, nope, out. Not that
Don't
one.
crush us!
Well, Vebu's already provided a point of advantage that is available to the team should things go sideways. Koba hasn't really had an opportunity to do much other than swarm Robe's leg, though I think Koba provided some advantage earlier on. But at the moment, Robe, let's see computers as you try and outthink and outpressure this vehicle. Ooh, that's not a success.
Gonna use a point of advantage, I think.
I'm okay with that. I'm going to assume you're going to re-roll one of the doubles. So do not roll a 3, a 7, or a 6.
That's just another single D10 roll.
Just a single D10 roll. No whammy, no whammy, no whammy.
A 9.
A 9 is none of those. Well done. As the ship is outmatched, driven back down, can't handle the thrashing and the swinging. Robe, there's still a person inside, and eventually they're going to do something, and you notice that this ship does have guns on it. Is there any other action you're taking other than wrestling it down to the ground?
Oh, we're not gonna push it going to difficulty 5.
Okay.
So, that'll be it.
All right. Koba, Robe has successfully delivered you to the ship. What are you doing?
All right, so we're just kind of hanging off of Rob, who's hanging off of the ship, sort of, but he's clamped onto the ship, correct?
He's clamped onto the ship. His thrusters are up. The ship is being kind of wrenched down, and the ship is now descending back to the ground. Its thrusters can't compensate for his Bronco-style riding.
Okay, I will I will start to move up the Rob and say, "You're doing great, buddy. This is going really well." And I'll climb up and over his head. I'm trying to land on. I assume this has some kind of like visor, like shield where they see out to direct the spaceship.
It is. It's very nice, actually. It's very well appointed. It's crystal clear. You can clearly see the person, the robed figure inside, thrashing about, trying to call weapon systems online. What are you doing?
I'm gonna bring him a weapon system of my own online by trying to pull out my laser sword and slam it through them like Wash and Firefly when he got harpooned with the. So that's what I'm going for. And I'm just gonna use straight melee power to try and drive that home and through the hopefully not bullet and weapon proof thing here.
Yeah, it's made to resist vacuums, really. I mean, not so much laser swords. That's a success.
Cool. And then I'll just kind of keeping one arm on there where I am. I'll lean back and try and yell down towards Zote and Tina Vastra and just say, It's all good, guys. We got this. The thrusters ain't no problem. No problem. And I'll take my hand and do a wipe of my mohawk and try and give advantage.
Absolutely. Well, no, maybe not absolutely.
It's hard to keep your hair straight in space.
You would have thought.
Even
Now, that does give an option here. Are we giving me a collapse point, or are we rolling on that sheet?
I have a feeling those guns are going to come into play, so sheet. I don't want them to. My plan falls apart?
The plan does fall apart. So let's talk about what the plan was. The plan was to bring this vehicle back down to the ground reasonably intact. The plan centered around Robe pushing down on it, Vebu weakening the shields, Zote chipping away at the paint so he could get a hold on it, and then Koba disabling the driver. Now, as Koba disabled the driver, something happens. The driver, you see, is one of those cultists. And as the cultists die, something happens. They explode.
Uh-oh.
Now, this
Uh-oh.
cultist is exploding inside a ship that has been critically weakened. Inside a cockpit that has been pierced
I mean,
by a
it's
laser sword.
a thin laser sword, though. I mean,
It's hair thin.
pinprick. Yep.
It's just enough though
Crap.
to force Robe, Vebu, and Koba to give me a difficulty 2 or complexity 2 skill check to avoid the fiery explosion of the ship.
Great athletics, Rob is just gonna back up.
You got it. Reverse the reverse thrusters.
Yes.
Rob, please take 1 point of damage.
Gonna try and fall in the way that hurts the least amount of bees. And I know that because of my knowledge in medicine.
Your knowledge in medicine serves you well as you spread out in parachute-like fashion, descending to the ground. Vebu, I don't believe Olrens have that particular ability. Do you have anything that you would be using to save yourself?
Vebu is gonna see that the ship is going critical. This is pretty common. He's seen this before.
Sure.
Flown a lot of ships before, and he's like, yeah, I could totally get away from this. And instead of doing a standard escape, he's gonna try to do like a pirouette off of Rob to get out of here. Oh, that's disappointing. Oh, that's at 3. So I can either re-roll a 2 or
yes, please re-roll a 2.
Oh no! It's fate!
Vebu, please take 1 point of damage. As the ship bursts into flames and comes crashing down, bits of metal scattering around. The street goes quiet for a second, and then the roar of thrusters from blocks away, other ships lifting off and piercing the sky, heading away, each bearing that same rising sun design. But for the moment, the kith'uk that you have rescued remains intact. The robed figures are all dead. And a glean is the only being moving towards you, while the rest are still pressing away. Now, the glean, you know, but maybe we don't know, are a species that look a little odd, perhaps, to some. They float through the air using feathery appendages. They're well known as scientists and researchers, and as this one makes their way across, they make a beeline straight for Zote, or more specifically, the person under Zote. They're calling out, "Oh, my friend, you look terrible." What? And then, whoosh! The spaceship crashes to the ground, and she presses up against the wall, waiting for the fire to die out. What all? Who are you? As she looks over Tina, Zote, Vebu, Robe, Koba.
Excuse me, pardon me. Hi. Hello.
Well, hello.
Who are you? Got him.
My name is Lewa. What is going on here? What? And as she's talking, she keeps moving past you. She stops by each of the burned corpses and then makes her way over to the kith'uk on the ground. My friend, when you called, I didn't expect all this. The kith'uk on the ground stands. Leoa, thank you. I don't know that I'd still be here except for these fine folk. I don't even know your name.
Oh, Zote Globetrot, pleasure.
Zote, pleasure to meet you. I am Kree.
Well, what do you know why they wanted to take you away? They were some like weird fire space cultists. I don't know.
Last I checked, most people don't spontaneously combust upon death.
Not normally, no.
No. The Glean answers. That is very unusual, though it's been known for members of the Daylight. They're a semi-religious organization. They feel that there's a being similar to an omniscient or a god that lives in or beyond the burn. They call him Golmuk. And his will, his voice, when they can hear it, they say gives them the ability to control fire. And even as she's talking, her tentacles run over Kree, and you can see that she administers a small amount of medicine, tucks another vial away, pulls out another, constantly in motion as she's floating about. And the rest of you, Zote, who are your companions?
Oh, well, I mean, they can introduce themselves. We're kind of, I don't know. We do jobs for money. I guess you could call us mercenaries, but that feels a little mean.
Well, your teamwork was extraordinary. I've never seen anyone pilot a Peacecraft from the outside like that before.
I think
I know.
Peacecraft
It's pretty amazing.
I pilot myself.
As the three of us all wake up from the burning awesome behind us.
Rolling
Do you
out of the
look
rubble.
back? Well, it was very impressive. Now, you mentioned that you take on jobs. Several members of the populace here have been taken by the Daylight. Is there any way that you could be engaged? And she pulls one of her tentacles around and looks at it. On it's a small wristwatch style device with a screen that's flicking a constant series of information. She sort of looks at it from one eye while the other eye is focused in another place. Bit odd, even for a Glean. Cobalt, totally normal for you. You've got lots of eyes. For the rest, that's a little... The Daylight seem to be causing trouble. They've made raids on smaller planets before, and we at the Ark, of course, have been trying to see that they do no harm, but they've gotten a bit demonstrative of late.
Well, if they think there's some god beyond the burn, why don't they just go throw themselves in and save everyone a lot of trouble?
Well, they feel that Golmuk is here to punish the wicked, and those who can't hear his voice are to be burned alive as a sacrifice to him. It's rather gruesome, and they feel they do his will. Self-immolation, I don't believe is expected of them unless they, of course, pass away.
That's a shame.
Well, there are those who do throw themselves into the burn. I can see if anyone of that organization would be available. Is that something you're interested in? It's very heroic.
No, it's not heroic at all. It sounds awful. I just meant that, if they did that instead of attacking and killing other people, it would just be easier for everyone.
Oh, that's true. I mean, everyone does find their own way to deal with the impending end of the existence. I myself have joined ARC, and we work to preserve and rescue and conserve those that we can and make the most of what resources we have left. And that's why I would be happy to see you hired on to retrieve those who were taken. It must be dozens at least, based on the number of ships I saw taking off.
So it looks at the group like,
You and me.
I sounds like we'll take it.
It sounds like a very hearty meh across the board. I mean, I'm all for it. So I just want to make sure I'm understanding things correctly. So, sorry, Koba. Nice to meet you. And he extends like 2 fingers, but then realizes that she has tendrils too, and it's just like, never mind. And is like, so you're saying that these kind of zealots are all over the place, just stealing people to kill them faster than the burn is already killing them?
Well, I don't know them personally. From what I understand from some of the other ARC members, the Daylight believes they're saving people, and that the burn would be satisfied if the wicked were purged. So, it's...
But how do they choose who's wicked? Did they just pick some people? I must have missed this part. I'm sorry. We just fell off of that big burning thing back there, so I apologize if you said so already.
Well, they say if you cannot hear the words of Gulmok, their god, if you cannot gain the powers they demonstrate over flame, then you must be wicked. So they attempt to force people to hear his words, and if they don't, they kill them.
And you're part of an organization that stops that kind of stuff.
Oh, we stop everything we can. The Alliance of Relief and Conservation, ARC. ARC? And you all know of ARC. You may not have experienced it, but they are basically the only people who try to rescue planets that are being consumed by the burn. They actively arrange for fleets to go out and try and evacuate those that they can. Of course, when there's a planet of billions of people and only a few hundred ships, not everyone's going to make it. But they do what they can.
Were they, out of character, are they related to or part of the scientist mission that was our original thing, or no?
They would have previously evacuated some folks. I don't think the ARC was arranging for that, because I feel like those botanists were probably hanging around a little longer than the official evacuation order, trying to get that last harvest in.
Gotcha.
And that's why they got stuck.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be all for. I turned to Zote and sorry for the delay, but I'd be all for this. This sounds like these people are doing good work, trying to bring people together, not pull them apart. And he pulls a couple bees off his one finger and puts it back together, raises his knot eyebrow.
Ooh, was the pulling them apart a shot at what's happened to that poor person earlier?
What person?
What
are you talking about?
No.
person? I mean, it was like,
What's he talking about? What's going on?
No, he's not talking about anything. It sounds like we're Tina, Vebu, Rob. What do you feel?
I'm in for it.
I have no opposition.
Great.
Excellent.
Sorry, I'm a little busy dealing with these parts as I'm Vebu's just literally running all over.
I did see that. So what is Vebu doing over there precisely?
Just trying to scrounge up anything that would probably be valuable or an improvement for our current Mirabelle, who's really sassy and kind of a bitch.
Little bit.
Doesn't want to hear it.
Little bit. So as Leoa ranges for a payment of 2,500 Argent each of you receive 2,500 Argent for your assistance. Let's find out how successful or not Vebu has been on his scavenging mission. Would you please roll me a skill check and tell me which one you're using as you are prying into the burning and potentially explosive wreckage of a pleasure craft?
Specifically, not like engineering, not the things to make the ship fly better or go faster. I'm looking for electronics to shut her up. So I'm using computers to look for the little good pieces that are this will distract her for 2 days.
Okay.
What complexity do you want?
It's on fire. So I'm going to say that's probably going to be around a 4. That seems tough. That is a pass. Well done. So a number of electronic devices are available to you. This is a luxury edition. You're looking for things that will quiet her down for a while, something along the lines of something pretty and fanciful, one of the entertainment devices available on it, or you're looking at something to occupy her mind or boost her abilities. What are you actually looking for there?
I mean, at this point, at this early on, I don't know if I want her to get smarter. So definitely something more entertaining or fancy, or the, calculating equivalent of, ooh, shiny.
Okay. Which actually brings us to a really good topic. Because I'm hoping that if you guys look over at your compendium area, and you scroll down, I really hope they have individual ship modules available to you guys. Do they?
Yes.
Awesome. And I think what you may be describing is a lounge area.
Yeah. Yeah, out of all of those options, yep, absolutely.
All right. So... is there anything else that you would like to do? Speak to Lewa or your new friend Kree about? Kree reveals that he is a member of the Overguilds. He watches over this area of town. Doesn't know why he would have been targeted. I can't think of how they would know who I am. I think I just happen to be the unlucky one on the street. Comes to being a big guy. Good clothes.
I see.
Now, is there anything I can do for you? I'd offer you a drink, but seems like the bars are a bit dry in this area.
Well, do we know how far away we're going?
So, do you? Don't know yet. Who would be thinking about how and what would they be using to find that out? Right now, you've basically just been hired to see if you can track down the people. The ships just took off minutes ago. They can be tracked a number of ways. Does anyone want to hazard a guess at a way they might want to try that? And if you're going, I have no idea what to say that and we'll talk about some of the options.
Might try to find out where they're going?
Uh-huh.
Go ahead, Zote.
Oh, Zote was going to say, does anyone else have any ideas? Because he's not good at this.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the world. So things that happen. Technology can track things. You do leave trails as you travel through space. Giant objects of metal hurtling at great speeds. You can measure trajectories. You can bribe people who keep an eye on such things. So the overguilds constantly monitor the area. You could say, hey, I want to know where this went, and maybe somebody could look that up for you. You could figure it out yourself. Go out there and explore, kind of find the trail, point in that direction, and hit go. A lot of options for you. Probably the easiest available to you, though, would be to ask that overguild buddy of yours, Kree, if he knows anybody in the space flight and tracking areas that could figure out what direction they were headed.
Kree was the big guy who didn't know why he got targeted?
Kree is the big guy who did not know why he got targeted. Good old Kree.
Okay.
Could also investigate, hop on the CompliNet, the internet, instantaneous transmission throughout the entire galaxy. Ask around there. You just start beating people up at random till you find the right guy.
I'm going to start by asking Kree and say, so, buddy, I think there is something you can do to help us.
Okay.
You know anyone who in the sort of the space flight and/or tracking areas of the Overguild who might be able to give us a beat on where these ships are headed?
Well, sure I do, Zote, and for you, I'd be happy to, but gonna have to put you on the line with them and get the straight dope from them. So here you go. And he pulls up, turns the screen towards you, and I think I need some sort of communication in skill from you to frame up your question.
Okay, so I don't know. Zote doesn't really know these people, but he knows that people at the Overguild all have an angle, and so they have in general have things that they like and dislike, and Zote is going to sort of use what he might know about Kree or the Overguild to sort of try to give them what they want to hear, ingratiate himself easily, without much work on his end, simply just telling them what they want to hear.
Okay.
Which would be empathy.
I could see empathy. I could also hear that being maybe a decorum sort of option, but you make the call.
I'm going to go empathy.
All right.
I've already killed one person with it. We might as well make it 2.
Complexity only 2. Let's see it.
Okay. All right. We good.
Is a win on this one. The Glean who answers does not fall to pieces, their feathers falling off. Instead, they give you information regarding a location known as the Inferna.
Okay, it sounds fiery.
It does sound fiery. It seems that the ships have all taken off in the direction of an old space station. In fact, it is a space station that was once a kith'uk marine training facility.
Oh.
And I have lost the name of that training facility because the Glean didn't know that. They just know it's an old kith'uk station. They all seem to be headed in that direction. It'll take about 16 or so days from where you are now to get there. They've got a couple of hours a head start, but that won't make much difference in the long run unless you take some time. Now, is there anything else that you'd like to ask around or investigate? Koba? Tina? Vebu?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess Koba would turn to what is it, Layla?
Leia what?
And say, so what are your plans? Are you coming with?
And she's been in motion the whole time, tapping different spots. Oh no, dear, I've gotten far too much to do. There are so many wounded and so many in need of help here. I will be paying attention to your exploits, and I do invite you to give me an update. I'll be sure to pass it along to the other ARC members.
Are you sure you can't be convinced? It'd be an exciting... Think of all the people you could rescue and help.
Oh, there are already many people to rescue here. It seems not all were as delicate in repelling the kidnapping. I've got several explosions, 2 fires, a building down. Oh, that was a spaceship collision. And as she's mentioning each one, she's pulling up and showing you on numerous tendrils the data feeds coming in.
Out of character, what was the... I know that you said, information was, immediately transferable, so can I just, do a, let's stay in touch, I'll give you my digits or something kind of thing?
Absolutely.
Okay.
The name that they are using is Complenet, Complenet, and that is run by one of the Overguilds, and the data transmission is nearly instantaneous across any distance. So from one side of the galaxy to the other, FaceTiming is available.
Got it. So I'll on one of my many belts for some reason, I will pull off what looks like a giant pager with glittery stuff and wipe some of the bugs off of it and be like, all right, these are my numbers. So, if you find anything interesting, just hit me up, okay? And it'll go for a high five.
She taps the device to your device, and the little data transmission happens, and you now have Leia's information.
Oh, all right. Oh, shit, I forgot to feed him. Shit. And he'll press a couple buttons and put it back on his belt. No, Tamagotchi. No, Bueller. I think it's...
That's exactly what I was thinking. I'm like, is she going Tamagotchi?
Yeah, why wouldn't I have little fake space bugs to take care of?
Absolutely. Koba has a Tamagotchi. It's canon. It happens. So, anything else we want to catch up on before we move on to the next scene? 5, 4, 3, 2. Mirabelle has sold the vast majority of your personal belongings.
What?
More importantly, how? Not even why, because let's not. No one's surprised by this, but like how?
How? So, there's an old trick. It's been done in every hackneyed comedy. A MI uses a old Olrin face to trick a young anything. Because the old Olrins, their facial expressions are just so slow, the MIs can just pull this scam off every time. And Mirabelle, while all of the goods were being unloaded, found it prudent to liquidate the vast majority of your belongings. However, she is not that bad a negotiator. And Mirabelle has managed to come up with 16,500 argent for the contents of the ship. Now, you do have what was on you, but that's all you have. Plus a lounge. So let's go ahead and drag that lounge area on there. So if you guys can see this ship now, and you can see that lounge, we can put that lounge any old place you want to be. And if you would like to buy any additional ship modules, Mirabelle has conveniently provided you with a list of the modules that you could buy for her, including but not limited to such things as cryo chambers to make putting up with you so much easier by freezing you, a healing bay for your squishy bodies, a lounge you just came with. I mean, she didn't really want you any more comfortable than you are, but, you know, why not? MI power expander, highlighted, underlined several times. She would really like a few of those. Turrets, cannons, all sorts of weaponry available. She'd like to be in control of those too. Would you like to invest in any fun goodies on your ship, or just enjoy the new wealth that you have at the expense of all your treasured possessions and memories?
Koba's gonna take that list and cross a big X through the power expander and be like, now, you're not getting that until last. Thanks a lot. Bet you want some. I want my stuff back. You stupid hunk of
I
metal.
understand you are upset, but those are actually very important for the ship.
I'm sure they're important, but I don't want it because she wants it. She sold all our shit, man. That's not cool.
I completely agree.
I mean, I had stuff.
I lost my bobbleheads.
Yeah, you sold the poor Rob's bobblehead collection. It's all he's got in the world, you stupid hunk of metal. I blame you, Crystalhead. You got too chummy with it.
Crystalhead's not in the room right now. He's in the cockpit. Is there still like a box of drugs there?
There is not still a box of drugs there.
You stupid fucking ship.
So let's see. I heard Oren, or Vebu, our Olrin friend, is up in the cockpit. Would everybody else drag themselves around to where they might be as they are discussing with Mirabelle, who is present everywhere throughout the ship? Robe, I'm not sure that lounge aside from you, buddy.
Robe is the lounge. He disappointedly sits outside the lounge.
That lounge is not Peacecraft approved. I apologize. You could perhaps get one upscaled for yourself and put into the hold. but otherwise you might be sitting on the floor outside where everyone's drinking tea. Module, if you look at the ship module list, you can see the prices available to you. You do have, now, there is a 5 of you, and 5 times 2500 is 12,500. So you actually have a fairly sizable amount of money, if you wish to make yourselves comfortable or not.
Rob votes that they should get a heavy cannon.
You think we should get a heavy cannon? Okay.
So you are currently at 29,000 argent available to you.
Tina votes Healing Bay.
Yeah, I would-
That is fair.
Yeah, I would cast a vote for a healing bay.
All right. A healing bay is available to you. Please position it where you would like it. A heavy cannon, I think I heard?
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what you want to give Mirabelle right now.
This is the Healing Bay.
That is a healing bay.
Ooh, I wasn't a
go up here.
big fan of those cryo chambers, but the second half of them sounds promising. I mean, as long as we don't put ourselves in there, so this stupid ship can't keep us prisoner, we can hold people in there.
Now, I did once watch a documentary.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, here we go.
It was called Alien. And I think putting all of us in a cryo chamber and letting the potentially evil
Is this in character
AI
or out? I'm confused.
in character,
Okay.
the potentially evil AI take control of the entire ship, and Rob, no offense to Rob, seems like it might not be a great idea.
No, the second part. I mean, we wouldn't go in there. Not all of us, anyway. I don't trust this girl. But, you know, for other people. As long as we're outside of it, it's all good.
Right, but we could just do that with a room.
Yeah, but you never
Or
know what they're
Rob.
going to get up to.
Someone would watch.
It will be fine.
Who are you
Dave.
planning on sticking in a cryo chamber?
Who are
Good
you
lord,
planning on
y'all. Fine.
leveling our ship?
Make the Rob hold him. That's fine, too. I just thought I'd save him some time. He's already sad because he lost his bobbleheads, but if you guys want to make him hold all the prisoners, that's
I
fine,
will
too.
take out my disappointment on these prisoners.
Oh, look, you made him upset.
No, he's at his optimum abilities for taking care of prisoners right now. He has nothing else to distract him.
That's cold, Zote. Real cold.
So you spent 13,000 so far, getting yourself a nice healing bay and a really big gun. Now,
We
important.
should
to
get a
note-
second gun.
We can only shoot two directions. We want to
That was
shoot
what I
all
was just
four,
going to
right?
mention. It
We
is
can shoot
important to note-
front and somewhere else.
You could shoot two directions, and since you've placed it there, you'd be able to shoot fore
Right.
and starboard.
Starboard is right. That's
It's up.
left.
Well, hang on.
Isn't the
labeled it
right?
wrong.
The right
Hello?
of this map is the front of the ship.
Wait.
Yeah.
What is
Yeah.
going
Yeah.
on here?
The right of the map is the
Okay,
front
look,
of the
I'm
ship.
going with what's written. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay. That says starboard, even though starboard should
might-
be the other direction.
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought starboard was the right side of the ship, and
Is-
the port was the left side of the ship.
I believe so.
Now I
But
have to go. Okay, what does the Google tell me?
we
That is okay. Yeah, starboard is on the right when facing forward. So the ship faces this way. So this is the starboard side.
okay. It is a beta test.
As opposed to port?
We're
Port
just
back?
Well,
no
I
port,
mean-
port,
the
port
front.
and starboard are left and right.
Well, wait, maybe this is the front of the ship.
that's where the thrusters are.
I don't know. Maybe it's a light. Maybe it's the headlights. All
we
three.
Headlights.
we move by vacuum, so we suck in to move forward. That's how the magic works.
The contents in the back.
Let me see.
Oh, then it's like a normal boat.
Can I do anything about this? Probably not. That's probably just one big image. I think it is. Okay, so little feedback, happening.
Wait, you mean to tell me that is not text on the map? It is a one big image?
That seems to be one big image.
Oh my goodness.
Hang on, I am investigating this thoroughly here. Yep, that appears to be one big image.
Wowza! What?
So we're all running from side to side going, no, this is the front of the ship. No, this one's the front.
Come on, you gotta figure out, look up in a book what's starboard port before you click save on your Photoshop.
So I figured it out.
Uh-huh.
This is not actually a top-down view. This is a bottom-up view.
That won't change anything.
Well, it will.
Right,
It will. If we're looking at this from the bottom. If we're looking at this from the bottom. Starboard.
No! There are some sci-fi universes.
Still the same side.
Yeah, it's the same side.
No, because look, if you're looking at laying on your back versus you're laying on your front, your left and your right reverse.
Okay, the definition of
When you flip
starboard.
your head around, yeah.
Definition of starboard is the side of a ship or aircraft that is on the right when one is facing forward. It doesn't matter if you're laying on your back and facing forward or laying on your stomach and facing forward.
But it does though.
It's the same forward.
No, because if you roll over and you face the other way, your right hand's on the other side.
But that's your right side, not the ship's.
And that's what we're saying. We were looking at the ship all wrong. This is a bottom cutaway. So
Headlights over here, and then Vebu's just like coasting like a captain on a ship back here.
So
I just want to let you guys know.
He's facing right. Oh my goodness.
This is definitely in my head. Mirabelle is arguing this to all of the characters.
She insists that is starboard, and will not be argued otherwise without extreme expenditure of argent. You are currently down 13,000 argent, so you are at 16,000 remaining.
Okay, so
we really do need a second turret.
I would
attack
I
from
would join Rob and be like,
besides
look,
that
they have a
90
different
degree
kind.
cone.
They have a different kind of gun, Rob.
keeper
Look,
turret.
a long range gun.
That is half as expensive. It is good.
yeah, why is the heavy cannon twice as expensive as the long range cannon?
Because it does double the
No, it doesn't. It does the same.
long range. Oh,
Size fitting on the ship.
1x2 squares.
the
Oh,
long
one square. But then why is the one that's smaller but does the same amount of damage cost half as
Alright.
much?
Take it back. We don't buy the heavy cannon. We buy two
What?
long range cannons for the same price.
What?
Sorry, I kind of figured it out. It's because there's only 3 square mounts on the ship.
No.
When they
What?
say one square, they mean the the.
Oh, the
floor,
massive.
I think.
Like they mean the entirety of that larger
Or
square.
they should,
But-
yeah.
Like where we put the
Why
lounge.
is the other one called
But the
1x2?
shape is the same.
Yeah. Why is the other one called 1x2? That implies 1 square by 2 squares.
But 1 + 1 + 2 + 1. Works it into every game.
What?
It is
No,
extending.
You don't want to put those towards the back of the ship like that.
There is no that doesn't make any goddamn sense to me.
Now you're just gonna shoot Vebu in
It
the
is
head.
very much in its testing phase.
The kith'uk at the dock looks you in the eye and says, "Look, I got people that are willing to pay. That's why it's that expensive."
Are they not capable of looking at the prices of multiple things back to back? I know some species are limited in their cognitive functions.
You've met Eno before, right?
Okay, that's fair, but like I just feel like, I don't know.
You just tell them that looks good with their fur, and they're like, "Ugh! Why do you think half of this stuff is tiger striped?"
I just thought because it was pretty bitchin', to be honest.
You got a little Eno in you?
Good lord, with the racism, that's enough, dude.
Alright.
Just like Kidis just like appears behind him, arms folded, eyebrow raised, tail flicking sharply if she has one. I'm not even sure.
So So kith'uk in general are sort of forward-facing animals. You see like an antenna twitch, and the he looks over at Zoe. He's like, "There's one right behind me, isn't there?"
Zoe just slowly nods and takes 2 steps back.
All right, so we got a healing bay, right?
We got a healing bay. We've got okay. We want to tell you about the receipt for the heavy cannon.
Can Tina do the thing where she's just bitching royally because she was just insulted and she deserves compensation for all this bullshit that you're putting her through? She should get a discount on this bull. Like,
does Tina suddenly grow and I need to speak to your manager haircut?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
No!
I feel that is certainly possible. Now this is a hardened negotiator you're dealing with, so I believe the complexity on this is going to be a 3. What's
For the haircut?
Well, no, because he is a weapons dealing person on a planet full of gamblers, and he's willing to sell you something that explodes other spaceships. And you're gonna kind of get in his face. He's got a laser cannon.
So I have a Nova Point.
Mm-hmm.
And I can use that to reduce the complexity of this roll if I tried to deceive him and just that she's all worked up and she deserves this because he was being racist and she could bring down his entire operation here
Entire
by telling
operation.
the right person.
I'm thinking I will go 10% per complexity that you want to step this one up. So starting at a...
Well, it says I could reduce the complexity of skill rolls made to verbally trick or deceive others by 1.
Okay.
So I could drop it down.
So we would be starting at 30% at a complexity of 2. If you wanted to go up to a complexity 3, you could get a 40%. Complexity 4, you could be a 50% discount on one item, though.
I'd start standing behind her and remind her of the advantage mechanically, but be like, yeah, what she said. Oh, it's only in combat? Oh, poop. I didn't know advantage was only in combat.
No, yes, advantage is only in combat.
Boo.
And it hasn't gotten that bad yet. And again, he is holding a ship laser cannon.
Still, emotional support for...
Yeah.
Emotional support. So what were they planning on getting?
Well, I believe it was a heavy cannon was the item of discussion, but you may have switched that out. You're the offended party.
We've learned... We have a receipt for the heavy cannon. We've learned we could get the same thing for cheaper. So we want to return the heavy cannon and get a different cannon that costs half as much, but does the same thing. Seemingly.
Long cannon.
So we're going for long cannons.
A long-range cannon. Okay. And how far are you pushing it? What's the discount you're aiming for?
I'll go for the 30.
Go for a 30% discount, which is only a complexity 2 roll.
Oh, then a 40.
A
We're
40.
going up to the complexity 3.
Complexity 3 roll. After your reduction. So that's after your reduction.
So 3 after the reduction.
3 after the reduction will get you a 40% discount.
Okay.
Okay. That's a 12. That can't be right. 9, 2, and a 1 are no matches. That is a successful discount of 40%. As you, the offended party, racial injustice bought off. A long-range cannon now available to you at the low price of 3,000 Argent.
Nice.
Woo! As I tick off all my boxes again. So she's. How long did you say that condition lasted for?
That condition. Your negative trait we're talking about.
Yeah, the burn she had.
will last one, whatever it says it is. I forget.
Day?
I want to say it was 1 day, or you could pay money and make yourself better.
So this is still the same day.
This is still the same day.
Or use our newfangled healing machine.
Or you could spend some time in the newfangled healing machine. Where's that long-range cannon going, by the way?
Well, we need to buy 2, right? We gotta buy 2 long-range cannons. We put one in the front left and one in the back right, and then we cover all our angles.
You can do that. All right, 2 long-range cannons are being purchased. That'll be a total cost of 8,000. We have done more math than I was keeping up with.
Don't forget that receipt for the heavy cannon.
Receipt
Gotta
for
get
the
that
heavy
returned.
cannon.
Yeah, we returned our heavy cannon. I brought it back new in box.
New in box. All right, so you have spent. Let's see here.
11,000.
Really? All right, I like it. Let's do it.
Healing Bay, discounted the cannon, full place cannon.
All right, so you are down to 18,000.
I mean, at this point, we got our cannons covered.
We get more.
I don't think we need more cannons. I think there's enough cannons. As much as I love cannons. I mean, we need extra, we need more.
You know, for a peaceful peacecraft, you do like cannons.
I mean, it seems like we should buy the
The best
cryo.
way to keep peace is a show of might.
There you go.
Well, he was trying to diversify his hobbies, but you sold them all, Mirabelle.
Well, okay, why don't we, how about this? We buy an extra lounge just for Rob.
Do you have any bobbleheads?
I don't want to be alone in a lounge. I
guess that is really sad, you're right.
Do you have any, like, giant lazy boys? Just one.
One giant lead. I mean, it's gonna cost you what the whole set would cost you, but 1,000 argent. Special peacekeeper size.
I totally want to get that for Rob.
I mean, we've got enough money, right? We could buy everything else and still, we could buy the MI power expander and the cryo chamber, and then still that, and then have money left over if we wanted to buy an extra cannon or 2.
I'm buying him the lazy boy.
Buying him a lazy boy. Upgrading.
And try and shove it as close to ours. Yes.
There you go.
Extended.
Got the special
Got a cup
peacekeeper
holder, too.
brand. It's got a cup. Ah, boy. So monies have been spent. Anything else that we want to grab? I heard you start saying things.
So have we purchased the MI expander in the cryo chamber to finish this off?
MI expander? Where would you like that? We're just gonna throw that down there. A cryo chamber? Sure. Gonna throw that over there for now. I mean, you can buy more MI expanders. Mirabelle does have it underlined multiple times.
Yeah, but she can chill.
What about, like, well, obviously what I'm getting in a shop, but like buying equipment?
Mm-hmm.
If anybody needs stuff.
Like food. For
Food's pretty readily available.
Okay.
4,000. Okay, so down 4,000 more.
I don't see like a list of.
It's
Yeah,
equipment.
Compendium, and then type equipment.
Yeah, sorry about that. And as the MI power expander is snapped in, suddenly flooding the ship here, finally. Whew. I was running at like 110% capacity, just keeping you all alive.
Uh-huh, yeah, that's nice. I want a camera. They're kind of expensive.
How expensive?
Like one of your big guns. Or your chair. But think of the information we could give to
That is an
little tentacle lady.
incredible amount for a single camera.
But it's it's the new model. Advanced model.
It is the best model we have available to you.
It lets my pager upload to the Complanet.
They can also fly in response to telepathic commands by the person wearing the person controlling it.
Yeah.
Yes, the best.
I call it a roan. It roans around.
Oh, that is a very good name. I mean, we have a whole marketing team that, labels these.
God,
and
can we
gives them
turn her
names.
down to something? Christ.
That wasn't Mirabelle.
that wasn't Mirabelle? Who was that?
was the shopkeeper.
Well, why is she,
Shop-
fading out?
The shopkeeper looks so
Is he a
sad
hologram?
right now. You're like, are you insulting my race? That
Is he
will
just-
be considerably more money.
Oh, God. Yeah. The sensitive racist. Got it.
This is a different guy. That was the ship guy.
That was the ship guy.
This is a different
This
guy.
is the camera guy.
Jesus.
Camera guy.
Really?
I'm sorry, I didn't realize we wandered into the camera store. I didn't think
You
everything
didn't
was at a
notice that
separate
different
store.
voice?
I don't know. I thought he was cold.
Yes, he sells weapons for ships, lounges, and cameras. He is the all-in-one trader.
Wow.
What about
Walmart
breach
of the
bombs?
future.
I mean, with all these planets condensing, it would make sense that the shopkeepers would be like, let's
Oh.
just...
Hold up, guys. Cost is 50, and they're grenades and they're fucking grenades.
I am intrigued by this breach bomb.
Okay, a flying armor suit is only 7,500.
You've piqued my
Simply
interest.
hang on to me.
That didn't work out so well. I think we were pulling on you too hard. I thought I could
took
fly,
off,
but...
and I brought it back down.
Yeah, grenades, bombs, I get them sold all the time. You'd be surprised. You'd think if a person was losing all their money and they had a grenade, they'd have a way to get it back. But no, man, they sold them to me for like $10. 10 Argent.
God, I'm really glad I didn't look at this first, because I would have been bugging to get some of this shit before.
Alternatively,
jet bike.
there is the bigger grenade for 800, which has double the radius.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
yeah.
Or we could go even... There's even a mid-range grenade for 200?
Oh shit! Damn, I thought of everything.
Oh yeah, you guys are gonna love the effect of these. I mean, you just pull one of these out, you show them to your enemies. Your enemies, they fall apart right in front of you. I mean, no offense there, fella, but I mean, they just fall right to pieces.
I
Like,
mean,
if we
you do
were
know
to-
there's more than, you don't have to blow everything up. That's not the only way to solve
Oh,
things, right, guys?
Yeah, no, don't listen to that. Don't listen to that. I mean, you want to blow things up. The best solution is a final solution. I mean,
I don't approve of that use
Ooh.
of the phrase that you've used there.
why does that have some sort of meaning that I'm not aware of? Because it's a complete
I mean,
galaxy and other history.
I just, anthropologically speaking, it seems a little bit insensitive, but... Alright. Alright, we want some grenades, right? Like we do. Like, we're honest with ourselves, honest with each other, we want...
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. You want grenades.
Oh yeah.
Now, what I'm thinking is at least one for each of your hands. Now, let's see. That's a 6,
We'll buy 20.
8.
Okay, wait. Okay,
I don't think we have that
If
much
they
money,
cost
right?
50 each. If they cost 50 each, that is only 5.
The proportions
That is
of
only
hands to people
1,000.
here is a little unfair.
That
there,
actually...
so-
That is
the math
only
checks
1,000
out.
credits for 20 grenades.
The math checks out, I gotta say.
How much
How
money
about
do
this
we have
one?
left? Because
How about 10 then for 500?
10
Hey,
and
hey,
10,
wait,
and then
wait.
we get some bigger grenade.
No. Koba is against the spending the whole rest of the money on 10 grenades.
How much money do we have?
You guys
Yeah,
got
how much
tons
money
of
do
money left, don't you?
How much money do we have?
Is anybody keeping track of money?
You
really?
have 14.
We're down.
left.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got 14,000. Well, you said we could... Heck, you know what?
14. Wait. Have I got the grenades for you?
Let's split it evenly.
Let me show you this one.
That's fair.
What's that?
Split it evenly.
Are we doing 10 grenades?
Sure. You carry them any way you
I'm
want.
splitting 10 grenades evenly.
That's 2 apiece. Not a problem. You're probably gonna want some of the bigger ones, though. I mean,
Can we buy a tabletop role-playing game?
I know,
Yeah,
I saw that. We buy a video game, too. Alright, so we have 14,000 left, right?
That's 2,800 apiece.
Okay. That seems fair. And then if we want to
That does
pool
seem
for something at the end, then we have leftovers.
Fair.
now remember, money saved is money wasted because you're only gonna die.
You know,
So you buy a
gotta
grenade
say-
now.
He's kind of right.
The money saved is literally money growing. Where did you learn this?
But
The burn is coming. You spend your money now. You have fun. You make sure your enemies go out with a bang. It's the way to go. Let me show you some more grenades.
he's not wrong. I mean, he's not wrong. Is what I'm saying. He's not wrong.
Have you heard of the concept of a cluster bomb? That's where you throw a lot of grenades at the same time. You, my friend, with all your arms there, you are designed for the cluster bomb technique.
He's kind of right, though. I gotta think about. Oh, well, let me think about it. You're pressuring me a lot. I gotta think about it.
No pressure, no pressure. We never want to have pressure in a place with landmines.
I don't think you sell, but you know.
Well, I mean, technically, no, of course not. They're illegal. But you ask, and maybe I know a guy. Maybe the guy's me. But you know.
I see. Very intriguing. I mean, guys, I could also get space nunchucks, though. And I feel like that's really important.
That's a priority right there.
I kind
That's a
of want the
priority.
virtual gym, too.
Kind of a priority.
I mean, this is an 18 to 19 day journey ahead of you. You could get flabby if you don't have your virtual gym.
I literally can't get flabby, though. As I have an
You
extra
say
skeleton.
that.
I am
Yeah,
a
your
robot.
second set of arms, man. I mean, they're not as strong as the top set. I'm just saying.
I could not disagree more.
Well,
My
you
second set are exactly the same diameter. Look.
Yeah, but you didn't even opt to just join us when we were climbing on Rob to get onto the ship. I mean,
That's
I
'cause I
gotta
didn't
think
trust-
that your upper arm strength is just not what it.
I
Used
trusted
to
my
be.
upper arm strength. I didn't trust your upper arm strength.
Oh, okay. I've
I mean,
got
look
like
at it, I can
thousands of
squeeze
things
all the way-
contributing to that, but that's fine.
I can squeeze all the way through it. There's nothing there.
There's so much stuff there that you can squeeze through it. That's what I'm trying to get across to you. Anyway, maybe not the gym then. It's just gonna be me and Rob.
I mean, you can get the gym. That's fine. I'm just.
We
I think the gym is a good idea.
we have a special for you. 100,000 teeny tiny visors.
I don't want anybody to feel left out of the virtual reality.
Yeah, I mean, one for each. No, not. All right.
Hey, Mr. God person,
Sure.
can I sell stuff too? If I get space nunchucks, can I spell my space staff because that's not as cool as space nunchucks?
I mean, you could. You're on a place where a lot of desperate people sell stuff, so the price may not be to your advantage, but I'm willing to hear you negotiate.
Okay, sure. I'm like, hey, look. So you see this? I pull up my charge staff, and then I hold up the space nunchucks. I'm like, this is just like 4 space nunchucks waiting to happen. See?
Yeah,
See?
I can see that.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So,
Now-
I mean, I'm willing to give you a discount, obviously, because we're friends, but 4 space nunchucks.
Sure. For space launcher. I mean, I can see it. But you see, the problem is I've got all these grenades taking up the space.
Look, I'm going to use the extra money to buy grenades. You know that. I know that. The money's going to go back to you no matter what. So really, all this is allowing you to do is to upsell me on more grenades.
You know what? You look like an honest fellow who's going to throw these grenades at very bad people.
I am. That's true.
Specifically terrorists that shoot fire from their hands.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the exact people that you want to have grenades in your hand when facing. Is the people who's throwing fire. I mean, you can't go wrong.
I don't see any issue with this, no.
So I'll tell you what I'll do. I will give you 1/3 of the selling price of that staff in grenades.
1/3, that's not an even number. What if we make it 1/2 and call it fair?
I mean, 1/2 would be fair if I was charging you an extra 25% for the grenades.
That's not how math works.
I'm pretty sure that's how math.
I don't think that's how math works. I'm gonna say.
Hang on.
Rob, can you confirm me on this one? Say he agrees with me.
I'm thinking if you come into my store with a Peacecraft named Rob, you might have some ulterior motives here.
It is short for Robert.
You heard him. It's short for Robert.
Well, that does make me feel a little bit better. I'm not gonna lie.
So what do you say? Half.
So,
Half?
all right. I don't have too many charge staffs. I've got a lot of grenades. Grenades do spoil over time, so
They
you
do.
know what?
Everyone knows this.
You want to use them while they're fresh. They're like pineapples.
Exactly.
So we'll go ahead. We'll give you half the credit in grenades.
Excellent. So that is 1,000 GP, or not GP, Argent in grenades. I'm going to take the 200 credit grenades.
Okay.
So I'm having 5 regular grenades.
5 regular grenades.
I'm paying 2,500 for space nunchucks.
Okay. And please update the ship's monies as appropriate, because I have not been keeping up.
Well, we split it all. Everyone has 2,800 to themselves. So that I've spent 2,500.
Okay. Now, I saw you looking at the camera. Grenades and cameras, that's what we do here.
How much money do we have each again?
Where on the sheet do we put monies?
I believe money is actually collective, so we're splitting it for play purposes, but it all goes back in the back to tank when you're done.
Okay.
So
I just put it next to my wealthy on economic status.
There you go. Now, this camera, it shoots in such super slow motion, you will get to see each individual atom as those grenades atomize your enemies.
Yeah, I like that.
Sure.
This is a dumb question at this point, but where are you looking at all this stuff?
In the compendium.
Yep.
Oh, okay, because I'm like, isn't there a thing?
All right. Yeah, those are. It's really so fan. What does this button do?
Oh, that button, that's the best button. Don't ever push that button, though.
Well, what do I do if I want to, show it to all my friends?
Look, you ever see a movie called Fifth Element?
What?
Yeah, it's that button.
Oh, I love Fifth Element. That's a great movie.
Yeah, it's plasma is the trick. The Fifth Element is plasma. I mean, everybody sort of saw it coming, but...
I thought it was love.
What? How do you power magic with love? What?
Oh, you're right. That's dumb. I'm sorry.
Plasma.
All right. Well, I'll definitely take the camera, and I want 2 plasma power cells.
Okay.
And now I've got one last decision.
Grenades. I mean...
Rob has a request for his allies.
Hold on. You'll get my leftovers. Is it grenades, Rob?
No.
Oh, what is it?
It is a shield. So that when I get hurt, I'm not really getting hurt. It is simply the shield. I do not have a shield.
It's a Rob shield?
It is a Rob shield.
How much is your Rob shield?
3,000.
Good lord. Well,
I can lend you the extra 200.
yeah, I was gonna give you my leftovers anyway for more grenades. Here. So I'm gonna get the advanced camera, the 2 power cells, and the far goggles for 500.
Okay.
And that puts me at 26, so the extra 200 will go to Rob.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Oh, look at you, and no shield? We'll get you fixed up. You got a favorite color?
Blue is a common theme.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess that's not what I asked, but if theme and favorite are the same for you, sure. Why not? Nice blue shield. It'll highlight your highlights.
Yes.
Yeah, life of the party, huh? You do that karaoke thing, don't you?
Yes.
Thought so.
Kobo will snap a new phone. Look at how fancy you look. So shiny.
Rob will stand ever so slightly more straight backed.
Vogue, yeah, work it, Rob. Get it. How does this work? Is this like a memory card, or am I wasting film here? I should have asked these things first.
No, it's automatically does its thing.
That sounds very technical. I don't quite understand what that means, but I'll trust you.
You know, the Glean that sold it to me, they said something, and I sort of, tried not to listen. They say a lot of things, and it doesn't really help. So you just use it. It does its thing. It's like magic.
Whenever kind of out of character, whenever Tina Vostra is ready to go pay, I'm gonna bring up the camera, or when I need to go buy stuff, I'm gonna bring up the camera and like just film it from behind her, just for reasons. Not that you're shady or anything or racist.
Yeah, no, of course. All transactions are documented, 100% legal. I always pay my taxes, etc., whatever.
Yeah, I'll leave a good review on your Complinet page.
Oh, yeah, you definitely. And, make sure you swipe left.
Is that starboard?
Yeah, that's starboard.
I've been muted. Whoops.
Ooh.
No, I haven't been saying a lot, but just stuff that she would suggest getting, like quick patches and quick bandages.
Sean, your mic is also muted if you didn't notice.
I think Sean did a BRB, so he'll be right back. Quick, healing items, not a bad idea.
Quick bandages and quick patches, just in case something explodes, they could just blat a patch on it, hopefully.
Sure.
And apparently that's what it does.
It is a quick bandage does that to living things. A quick patch does that to not living things. Automatically.
Yes, so she would get a couple for everybody. And would a quick bandage be for Rob or a quick patch?
Little from column A, little from column B. I don't remember. I'm gonna say bandage.
So she will get maybe 2 bandages for everybody.
No, you can factor me out. I already have those factored into mine.
Okay. And same amount of quick patches and whatever Rob needs for his shield and whatnot.
Oh yeah. These bandages, they're gonna look good on you.
Rob does need plasma power cells for his new shield.
Rob.
Well, I got a few I can spare if you ever need them
power
too.
cells too? I mean, I guess I could sell you a few of those if you twist my arm. No, don't twist my arm. You're a big fella.
Rob will be requiring another and donation.
Yeah, lockpicks.
Power cells certainly available.
I gave him the 200 extra that I had, so he had 3,000. Did Zote give him money?
Yeah, so it's got 300 left over he doesn't need.
Thank you.
No problem.
And Rob will buy.
Yeah, so everyone's got 2 quick patches. That's 1,000. Still have a whole bunch of money left.
Buy something cool.
Quick bandages,
steady
quick
portal out.
patches. I can't like a laser sword is cool, but that's more money than is.
Not that cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like 2,000.
It's really good at blowing up ships.
Yeah,
Also,
true.
what's it gonna take for me to like get some stash back? Cause
I would
this is gonna be a
say
problem.
it would just take some money, really. I mean, maybe a little sniffing around. Perhaps a skill check of some sort. What would you say you do to find a stash of better than readily available stuff?
I mean, I'm looking for the stuff that that fucking ship just literally sold.
Oh,
Um,
that. Oh. Well, that's new, and new is very expensive. Let me get you in touch with my upscale fellow. Yes, there I am.
of fucking course, there you are.
Yes, there I am. Can I help you?
Yeah, my asshole ship sold some shit that wasn't hers, and I need to buy it back.
That's amazing. Not a short while ago, I bought some amazing stuff from an elderly Olrin who's the spitting image of you. Talked to him over a communicator through his ship. Now, did you say you wanted to buy something?
Yeah, that shit.
Excellent.
I'll need, what do we say, 19 days?
Yeah, 19 days.
Like 45 days. 45 days.
45 days worth. Ish. Do me a favor, just hold out your hand for a second. I need to gauge your intensity.
That doesn't sound shady as hell. But yeah, go ahead and do that right away.
Okay, and as you do it, he just takes a light source and puts it under your hand and just looks at how much makes it through your crystalline form. He's like, 45 days at your rate. Well, I suppose. And go ahead and give me some sort of skill check, if you would, on how well or poorly you do retrieving your stray goods.
I mean, I don't want to workhorse computers too much here, but we're doing this through a communicator.
Uh-huh.
So I guess I'll just keep reading like the background information that while the communication's going on, like I'll be looking at the code readout basically to try to glean any information that I might be able to lean on in this negotiation.
Sure, you've got like the little heart rate monitor up, your little stress ticker going. You're playing them like a video game.
That's COM 2. Did you need higher?
2 is fine. Yes, you are able to retrieve your goods at the low price of 700 Argent for your 40-day supply.
God, I fucking hate this ship.
I really think I should have pushed harder for the jet bike.
That would not have been useful.
It would have been amazing, Rob. I would have shared. You could have used it.
No, you
I get a big basket on the front of it, and we could just soar through the air. It would be amazing.
Would
Cover him in a
as in
blanket.
my hand.
Well, I don't want my Rob to get cold.
And I believe with the majority of our shopping trip managed, we'll go ahead and take our 5 to 10 minute break. Anybody who thinks of anything else that they wish to spend their money on, please feel free to do so. And is there anything else? Because when we come back, I am planning on doing launch and then what you been doing for 18 to 19 days question. So please give a little thought to what you might be doing for the next 18 to 19 days as you zip through space at more than light speed in your little cramped ship with a very handy cryo chamber. You know.
Mr. GM, sir.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to say I have completed the first 2 events on my path.
Excellent.
Do you want me to justify them, or do you just believe me?
I will ask you to justify that. Let's do that when we get back.
That's fair.
Okay. And everybody else, please take a glance at your set. Now, remember, you can only take credit for 1 check mark at a time. So if you try to check off 2, you moved too quick. You hadn't really settled on the first one yet.
Oh.
So 1 check mark at a time. Okay, doke.
Can we pretend I had a conversation before we did shopping? Because otherwise, I think I'm never gonna get another one.
Okay. We'll. You know what? Since we're in beta and we had that whole starboard confusion, we'll say that yes, we can check off 2 at a time. But I believe the intent is 1 per session limitation. But to hell with that. Go ahead and take your 2 check marks, but we'll talk about it when we get back.
Okay.
Cool. Yep, it's a view from the bottom of the spaceship. That's the only possible answer.
But then wouldn't the floor be on the ceiling?
Yes.
But it's not.
I mean, it is space.
Maybe the ship's
like,
just upside down.
There is no up.
There is,
Still doesn't work.
that is correct.
Then why
There's
bother
no-
label it? Ah,
Because there's still a front ways and sideways. There's just no real up and down.
also, Casey, I'm really having a hard time resisting drawing cards. What are the cards? I want to draw the cards.
Oh! Hang on, we didn't talk. The cards are actually
buttons.
they're just safety cards. So the cards, if you hit choose on there, you'll see there's a keep going, a stop, and a slow down. Keep going, stop, and slow down. That can be deployed at any time if we hit an uncomfortable situation,
Oh, gotcha.
or if you say, "Hey, go ahead," or go whatever.
Gotcha. Not related to
for-
the game itself. It's
Yeah.
related to general role-playing comfort levels.
For our game system, and seeing as how I know most of you, I seriously doubt we're going to hit anything. So, but that's a thing that they did.
Back.
There you go. I mean, we've already touched on the Holocaust.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, once you hit that point, nobody's offended.
You gotta just.
You just gotta keep going.
Where do I
That's
go?
the rule, actually.
Yes. But that's what those are. Which I understand for many game systems are probably good. I don't see where it really applies to this one yet.
What are we talking about?
But-
We're talking about I'm uncomfortable cards in the bottom right-hand corner.
Oh,
In case you're playing with people that you don't feel comfortable talking to about being uncomfortable, I guess.
Yeah.
And, to be fair, I can see why Roll20 would make that, because it's like people using Roll20 will pretty frequently be people who have never met each other before.
Yep.
So-
No, I mean, it's definitely a good idea.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about this particular implementation of it, but meh. Yeah, there's not a lot of subjects that we haven't
Safety
strayed over
deck.
at some point.
I get why it exists, but I also wouldn't play in a game with people where I, like, if that
Right,
ever
I feel
happened,
like-
a card wouldn't solve
That
it.
is true.
yeah. That's my thinking. Is like if people are making you that uncomfortable, they probably aren't great
Well-
people.
So well here, so
Mm.
I'll give a real world example having subtracted details. I have been in situations where I've hit topics that just creep people out, and it could be a particular animal, a particular event, whatever.
Particular doll.
A particular doll. You know,
Product
Was
is
it-
chest hair.
I
Just how
mean,
much of it is its volume and consistency.
there's all sorts of things. So eventually you will always find somebody who has an issue with a particular topic, and maybe doesn't want to discuss it. So it's nice to have a way for just to anonymously be like, just let's close this scene and move on. And
I
it
guess I
could
suppose
be-
I didn't think of the anonymity that
Yeah.
it provides. That's a good point.
Yeah, this is just a let's whatever we're doing right now, let's all right, you know what? Probably covered this enough. Let's pop to the
That's
next
fair.
scene.
I guess I've been reading too many RPG horror stories.
RPG
on
horror
Reddit.
stories?
It's a subreddit on Reddit. It's just our RPG horror stories. They're pretty bad. Like I wouldn't suggest going there unless you like hating yourself because it's pretty brutal.
I will avoid that, thank you.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty bad.
So
Sometimes they're funny. A lot of times they're just depressing.
yeah, we'll not. But so where were we? We're coming back, and I think everybody have heard voices so far. Everybody's throwing decks around now, so they've found the cards. Good job. Let's talk about things that have happened. Has anyone achieved a story? Check mark. I believe Zote may have, and may even be claiming 2, which I believe is not official according to the rules, but we'll let it slide because we're playing fast and loose.
Okay.
What happened, Zote?
So mine is Discovery, Call of Mystery. That is my story path. So the first one is the first piece of info.
Okay.
Which I guess I would like. I guess we could justify this because it sort of happened last time, but we got context that made it a mystery this time. So if you want to finagle it in your mind that way, the first piece of info being weird fire death cult attacking people and dragging them away for reasons we don't understand.
Fair enough.
And now we're gonna go try to track him down to figure out why.
Okay.
And then 2 is gathering supplies, which we have done.
You have gathered supplies. Well done.
Yeah.
That seems like 2 very reasonable check marks. Please check those marks and take any rewards as appropriate for yourself. Anyone else tick off any check marks?
Potentially.
Potentially. Let's
Tennis
let's
is going
see
to
the
take a
potential.
while.
So, my thing is to find tutor or a teacher or institute, yada yada yada.
Mhm.
So, and I decided with Rob that I would definitely want to find someone. Or well, actually, I guess I haven't really decided this. So the person we met after the fight, can't remember the name of the race.
Leowa the Glean?
Yeah.
Okay. Leowa the Glean, an arc doctor. And inventor and scientist. And all-around nice person? Perhaps?
Yeah, so they like talked about how like they're doing their whole thing where like they're dude, what was it? I had this all thought out. Hold on. Alright, so Layla was like a scientist, right? Was the whole thing? Like she was researching a bunch of stuff.
Yep.
While we were at the thing. So that would have caught Rob's attention being because it was like, oh, she looks like she knows what she's doing.
Mm-hmm.
And Rob is just looking to learn, quite simply.
Okay.
So maybe during their trip, because like they all like we got her contact, correct?
Koba does have the contact info. Yes.
Using that, Rob during the trip might try to contact her and show his interest in learning about all there is to be learned. Whatever it is that
sounds good. So she is a wealth of information in sporadic doses. What path do you feel that you are heading down? So she is available to you as a mentor. She's looking to build a relationship with your team and continue in your employment. So yeah, absolutely. You can check off Leowa as a mentor. After having uncomfortably walked up to Koba and said, like, did you get her number? Anyone else have a storyline check mark to mention?
I mean, I guess I can just... I don't know if this is even allowed, because I can roll it into... What? Is it Rob or Robe? Because I feel like I'm saying it wrong.
it's been pronounced both ways multiple times.
You answer both? Okay.
It's
Yes.
short for Robert.
Robert. Okay.
Roberto.
Hey, Roberto. Yeah. So yeah, I got her number. Actually, I was thinking, could you just hold this? And he hands him the camera. And he's like, I want to send her a message. How's my hair look? Does it look all right? Am I even in it? You gotta point it down. You're too tall. Down. No more
Rob
down.
is desperately attempting to use his thumb and his forefinger to try and use this camera.
All right, is the red thing blinking? Okay. All right, I'm on. All right. Okay. And how do you say, is it Layla, or there was more vowels in there?
Leowa. It looks like layaway written out. I'm going with Leowa just so I don't call the poor Glean layaway.
Okay, and he's gonna be like, all right, you wanna learn from her. She's a smart lady. I wanna share information with her, and I feel like, from my expressionist, I want to make knowledge cool. No one wants to learn anything about any of these other cultures anymore. They just want to blow each other up with grenades. So this is what I'm gonna do. And he turns around and then does a turn back towards the camera and is like, oh God. It's clear from your vacant expressions. The lights are not on upstairs. He's like trying to dance while he's doing this. But we're talking gods and extinction. Even you can't be caught unawares. And he claps and does that slide thing that he did. And he does like a breakdown dance, and then he goes, and where do you feature? Just listen to teacher. And there's 2 thumbs pointing back at him. And he's like, anyway, that was just a preview of what's to come, Leola. Totally messing up her name. And he just, I just want to advance the story path of teaching an NPC something that I'm good at. He wants to share the knowledge that he gets while out in the world and what people need and relay that back to her in a cool kind of way, whether that be through interpretive dance or rap or some kind of poetry, and make knowledge cool.
100% cool. 100%. Yes, please check that story box. Lewa is very willing to learn and teach, and learn new ways to teach, perhaps. Though I do feel, just for the record, I need a roll for that.
I was hoping you'd ask. Yeah, because I put on my fancy headwear for this one.
Put on your fancy headwear.
How hard would my dance moves?
That's an up to you sort of thing. How impressive do you want to be?
Well, I mean, it is a first impression, but Rob's handling the camera, so...
Rob is handling the camera. Now, isn't that camera the one that you can control telepathically? That floats on its own?
The advanced camera? I don't know. He didn't show me how to work it. He said... Okay. Well, I'm sorry, what were his words exactly? Newfangly, magically doodlies? I don't know. He didn't exactly give me a manual with this thing.
Automatically.
Automatically. There you go.
Automatically. So yeah, absolutely. You're like lower, and he's like fighting because the camera's trying to move down. He's like, no, look at it, lift it up. So yeah, let's say how impressive do you want to be? What difficulty did you set your routine at?
I'd say it was a pretty easy routine. Probably, only 3 complex steps were going on.
3 complex steps. Okay, yeah, sure. Let's see 3 complex steps.
I tripped over his lazy boy. Damn it! It didn't look cool at all.
It did not. It did not. But let's see what maybe the side effects of this were.
Don't you touch that camera! God damn it, Robe! You be gentle. I got you that lazy boy.
So there's a dance move. It's considered simplistic. It's a fallback for many people. It's called the robot. And peacekeepers, or peacecraft are almost immediately offended the moment somebody busts that one out.
So true.
It's just déclassé. Rob, in that split second of anger, just that momentary, it just kicks over, software overrides come in, you return to line 0, everything goes that misty shade of snow that is the shade of red for digital beings. You see a 2. What happens in that instant that you're an enemy for just a moment? As you're holding
Rob was in control of the camera, right?
You were in control of the camera.
What is it?
So Rob, it's a sturdy camera. May I please have a complexity 3 roll of choice as you take out your aggression on this camera.
Power for just the crushing.
Crunch. We don't move like that.
That is incredibly offensive.
And I think this was day 1 of an 18-day journey in a tiny little cabin. So, fortunately, that was at the end of the routine. So Lewa just picked up on that it ended in static rather than in the fantastic conclusion you had planned. And the check marks are still valid for both of you, but what are you guys doing for the next 18 potentially uncomfortable days? We'll start at the front of the ship and work our way back. Hey, Reboot. You're at the front of the ship. What you doing?
So, I mean, it's 18 days until we get to where we're going.
Uh-huh. I mean, you got a new cryo chamber, got a lounge.
So, like,
healing power.
I mean, I'm going to have to be in the cockpit, but, like, that's going to be, like, 17 days of getting to, have some fun. And he is basically just laid up in the cockpit.
Okay.
For most of the 2.5 weeks.
Okay.
And he is using his new tablet that he bought and just laying into his stash. Like, he was not kidding when he was like, I need 40 days of this. And he's using his smart slab to play, apparently, Grindmaster, which is the popular game here. And there's just lots of arguing between what's going on in the game and shut up, Mirabelle. Shut up, Mirabelle.
All right.
Going.
Yeah. Mirabelle's actually the one flying the ship, but occasionally she lets you touch the controls, and then corrects from when you do, and on you go. So moving back, I think we're gonna say maybe Zote's got the bubble edged out there. Zote, what are you doing?
Zote is basically spending his time getting to know his fellow party members, talking with Rob in the lounge, getting to know Mirabelle more. Just sort of. He's not taking anything too seriously. He's not worrying about anything too much. He's seeing it as like a 2.5 week vacation.
Okay. Little time to eat, digest, plenty of things going on.
Absolutely.
And let's bring that one up to Tina. What are you doing for your time hanging out in the engine control room?
She's kind of like getting more comfortable with like the engines and engineering stuff, and she will be taking a lot of time to at least try to lay out the blueprints of her slam poetry that she's working on, just like working out what concepts she wants to be focusing on, maybe a little outline of like a flow chart of emotional and intellectual things that she wants to hit on as the poem goes. She's being very thorough about it.
Sure. Sounds good.
Which I don't know if he would let me allow to tick the blueprint off, because that's the event 2, because that's what that is.
We'll see how that goes towards the end of this storyline. I will say you are working your way towards that blueprint. We'll see if you get a chance to complete it or not. Okay. You might end up dead. These things do happen. You are in the engine room, and that always seems to explode. So let's talk to Rob now. Rob, early on, you crushed a fairly expensive camera. What have you been doing since then?
Probably just in and out contacting Leo.
Leo,
what? Just you're getting lessons from her, whatever feels like teaching him at the time. And spending like the rest of his time relaxing on his extra large lazy boys.
Sounds good.
Or just in a powered down state, which I assume they have.
Sure, why not?
Seems
reasonable. Power saver on, little screensaver floating around the eyes. Koba, how about you?
Probably spending the time away from everybody for the most part. Pretty pissed.
A little angry?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just spending the time in the med bay.
Just staring at your broken piece of camera, or attempt to fix it. I mean, you've got a magic patch. I mean, it fixes everything, right? Right? Maybe not.
I thought it fixed us.
No, there's she got 10. There's quick bandages, which heal us, and then there's quick patches. You got 10 of each. So quick patches heal a thing. Object.
I mean, if we have them in a pool, we try and fix that, I guess.
The green patches are adhesive and can be attached to any broken object that has all of its pieces within 1 foot of each other as an action. The patch immediately releases restorative magic into the object, repairing it.
Cool. I will do that then.
Okay.
Here, I have them listed on my sheet for now, so I'll just tick down one.
Mm-hmm. So the camera looks a little duct tapey. It has a few quirks to it, but it starts recording again, and seems okay. Maybe we'll figure out if there's any quirks to it sometime later on. Perhaps it was possessed by some sort of demon. Who knows? But let's go ahead and kick back over to the big map. And you have made your way from Azabni to the Inferna. Mirabelle successfully navigates you. She has a pretty good path to go on. You guys are tracking about a day to a day and a half behind the other ships, but there's really no way to catch up. You can't really go much faster than the speed you travel, or much slower. It's just kind of the speed. As you come into the Inferna's system, you learn a couple of details. The first is that the Inferna is ridiculously close to the Burn right now. You're way out in the Ghost Belt, the space closest to the Burn, but as your ship drops in and out of light speed to take its bearings and get its scans on, you realize that the red-orange phenomena is very, very close. You can see it just beyond the station. The Inferna itself is fairly small as far as space stations go. It's shaped like a U, with an airlock for ships larger than yours in the center and on one end. And the other end has a hangar for smaller spacecraft to dock inside. As you get close to the station, Mirabelle alerts you that the Inferna is hailing you. It's attempting to make video contact. You would need to accept the message to establish the communication. Mirabelle says, "Hey guys, they'd like to talk to you. What should I say?"
Is this a video message, or is this purely audio?
It is a video message.
don't think they're gonna welcome us in, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
God, Mirabelle, give me like 2 more minutes. I just gotta finish this level. Then we'll look at the stupid message.
I feel like we should look at it now. I don't think we want to keep the space terrorists waiting.
I mean, this is a real-time message, not a recording.
Oh, let me find out. Are you a real person? They say they're a real person.
Yeah, but what does that mean anymore?
Well, I mean, I'm sure I could answer you if I had a few more MI boosts.
Yeah, no.
Just disable the safeties, Dave.
Sure. I mean, I guess we probably should talk to them, right? Like, we don't have any... Worst case scenario, they're like... The worst case scenario is probably the same either way, so we could only stand to improve our situation by talking to them, I think.
Yeah, okay, I killed it. What are we? Yeah, I mean, we could totally take this message.
So yes, connect?
Yes.
Let's connect.
Alrighty. Let's... Can I make a hologram? Whoop! A figure appears on your ship. Holographic. Reasonably easy to see through, but of good fidelity. The person is wearing red robes and has a white face mask on. They look quite a bit like this. I am Oppo, Hand of Gulmak, member of the Daylight and servant of Tildamir. You've approached my space station, and I'd like to invite you as our guests. If you do not respond, or if you flee, or if you fight, then I will welcome you as our prisoners. The airlock is available to you. Make your way there and come aboard. And she turns her head, looking about.
That sounds lovely. Right, guys? That sounds lovely.
And she sort of walks around. Hello? I'm certain there was someone here. Hello? She puts a hand to the side of her head. You said there were life forms. Yes, okay.
I just said something to you. Hello? Is this thing on?
You're in the lounge.
I thought that's where this was happening. Isn't that where...
No, she's out here in the hold.
Oh, I didn't realize she had a thing. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Now I'll go out. I didn't realize she was a physical... She has a token on the map. I understand now. Oh, hello. Sorry, we were playing poker in there. Hi.
Ah. Hello. I don't suppose you heard what I said. Never mind, I can repeat myself. We've got some time. I'm Oppo, and I'd like to welcome you as our guests. Or, if you choose to fight or flee, I can welcome you as our prisoners.
Now, Oppo, you seem lovely. I do have a quick question. You mentioned that we are your guests, but if we try to fight or flee, we're your prisoners. Now, when you say guests, do you mean actual guests, or do you mean secretly prisoners, but you'll be nicer to us?
That will depend entirely upon your capability to hear the voice of Gulmak.
I see. Excellent. Well, I've heard some great things about this Gulmak, so I'm sure it won't be an issue, right, everyone? I swear there's other people here. I promise. It's not a one you know, a one bug person operation over here. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Well, I look forward to meeting you in the flesh. And with that, the hologram shimmers and fades out.
Don't really have flesh. It's more of a chitinous exoskeleton. So did anyone else see the hologram, or am I just taking? Has Vebo just been spiking my drink with stuff?
I did not want to reveal my presence as a peacecraft.
You've never been shy before.
It is simply a matter of if they knew that we have a peacecraft on board, their defensive measures would be significantly higher.
So you think when we go traipsing through the airlock, they won't notice?
Well, they won't be as prepared. Perhaps, that is. They will probably take the utmost caution, nonetheless.
All right, so what do we want to do? I mean, at the very least, it seems like this is an easy way to get closer to the station than we would otherwise if we tried to fight. You know? So we can go there, and then, you know, maybe some of us need to go to the bathroom, and then we can explore around their space station a little bit.
And hey, are we just gonna, like, hide Robe the entire time?
I think he needs to come along, right?
No.
Or...
I shall be revealed. It was simply a matter of I did not want to prepare for a craft.
They mentioned life forms, so it's likely they know how many of us are here.
They very well may have already have them.
Right. I don't want to be that guy, but if one was scanning for life forms, would Rob show up? Obviously, he is alive. I'm not disputing that. However, his manner of life is rather different than ours, and it might not show up.
That's a fair question.
He would show up. The scan is not actually for life. It's more for heat signatures of a particular type. And he's a big old heat signature.
Fair.
You need to start sleeping in the engine room.
He sleeps in the lazy boy.
In the engine room.
He moves it there every night.
Yeah. All right. Well, then I guess we have to assume they are prepared for Rob. Hey, Obo, get out of here. This is a private conversation. There we go. All right. So, well, we're just gonna fly up and then see what they want, and then when they try to get us to convert to Garmokism, we kill them.
Best.
Or Golmok. Garmok is from something else.
Gulmok.
Angelad.
Yeah, exactly. You have no idea how much I resisted saying put the message on view screen when the message was coming in. Okay, I mean, do we like that plan? I mean, I guess we don't have any other choice, right? Every other plan is probably worse.
Most likely.
Oh, shit. Guys, they're, like, sending escorts?
Uh-huh. So
Like...
just fly casual.
No. Okay. You got it.
I thought that was easy. I didn't know Vebu could do anything casual, but apparently he's good.
I got you, Zote.
Casually, you are escorted to the central airlock of the space station. The airlock docking procedure is pretty simple. You tell Mirabelle to do it, and she takes care of it. If you feel like flying yourself, you may certainly do so, in which case I'll just need a skill check. Vebu, are you leaving it to the magical intelligence, or are you taking the helm?
Are you kidding me? Trust the intelligence? No, I got this.
Yeah, of course you got this. Let me just see a little
Oh,
skill.
man. This is the beginning of Dead Space right here.
And what are we? We're doing docking.
Yeah, a little docking.
Okay, and what's the difficulty?
Complexity 2. Standard
Uh,
procedure.
Yeah, I think that it's really important with these guys to land like properly. Like, yeah, hail Gumok. So I think I'm going to use decorum.
Okay.
That's appropriate.
You got it.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
This is the beginning of Dead Space.
Let me tell you,
Crash,
it
and
looks
there's
like
going to be alien zombies on the ship.
there's so many of them. Like, I'm sorry, guys. It was so hard to properly land that I just
Look,
didn't judge.
you're gonna roll on the failure prompts, and it's gonna be everyone but us turns into alien zombies. I guarantee it.
So while attempting to impress them, you cause a scene.
That's appropriate.
Which seems
That's really
really appropriate. So I think you are being escorted by several ships. They are trying to bring you in. They've maintained their distance fairly respectably. I mean, they are an obvious threat. But as you try and do your little bit, fancy, like a guy in a limo pulling up, gonna kind of slide it in there, or cool, like, your thrusters knock them off course, causing the formations to have to scatter, narrowly missing the space station. They swoop around, blasters at the ready. You can see weapons heating up, and then they finally sort out that was just some sort of clumsy piloting. But you can hear a radio chatter echoed through Mirabelle that they are pissed at you, yet they do not fire. But the tapping of the foot on the other side of the airlock sounds impatient now.
Mr. GM, sir. I have a
Uh-huh.
question. While that landing is going on, I had to go to the bathroom while the rest of the buying was happening. Did Vebu end up purchasing more drugs?
Vebu did end up purchasing more drugs.
Is there a crate sitting in the cockpit right now? Of drugs?
I don't know, Vebu. Is there a crate sitting in the cockpit?
No, it's always all on my person all the time. After Mirabelle sold all of
Damn
my
it.
shit.
Oh, well, that's fine. You could get in trouble. Zod is thinking, they come on board, they find a big crate of drugs in the cockpit. They may not be pleased. So I was going to hide them someplace, but you've already damned yourself, and that's fine with me, so yeah. I will not do that.
Vebu is currently burdened by 20-some days worth of his pharmaceutical of choice.
I will give him a
You say
2-armed
burdened.
backpack.
I don't want to brag, but I'm done with event 2, so I'm going to go ahead and take my check mark.
Yes, please.
Sorry, guys.
So, as that all happens, let's I was not expecting that to be an event. Let's scoot that right over here. And I think it's going to be all dark for you guys.
Tis.
Indeed.
It is. Alright, we're going to try the fancy light stuff for a little bit. It's going to drive me nuts, and then I'm going to turn it off. We're going to try it for a little while. Alright, that should be the middle. Robe, you're huge.
Huge.
Hi, Mirabelle.
Hi, Mirabelle. All right, what can you guys see right now?
Where?
Mirabelle.
Where? I see some areas like around this way.
Okay, but you can
Over
see that you can see the
here.
floor and stuff that you're in right now.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
And there's this over here.
All Alright, I
Second.
can see that stuff cool. Let's get
Zoom
to the
in.
right spot here.
Enhance.
Enhance. So many things. Lost prep. Okay. You make your way into the airlock. The big door connecting to your ship open. It's going to need to close before the other one can open. That's how airlocks work. Unless you guys decide to wreak havoc with the system. Currently, your ship is blocking the air from getting out, so you could try and force it open, or you could wait politely.
Well, gang.
Well, I feel like if they didn't want to get off the ship in the first place, they wouldn't have gotten off the ship
Right.
into the
yeah.
airlock.
Yeah.
So, here he is.
Rob can survive in space. So.
Speak for yourself. But yeah, I think we have no reason to keep it open.
Okie doke. The door closes. The next opens. Book. And did the dynamic lighting work? Can you now see a room with a big old pit in it?
Yes.
All right. Cool. So things are a-working, and let's get started here. Excuse me, everything is fighting with me right now.
I know the feeling. Roll20 does that.
Not sure I can blame this one on Roll20. I think this one's me.
DMs do that too.
All right. As the door drops, you can see a large room ahead of you. The room has several windows in it that look into another room, one of which being a large raised area along this wall. Looking out at you from within those windows is the white-masked, red-robe figurine of Oppo. A large pit, some 30 feet across, with a grate put across it, is in the center, and there are several barrels scattered about. Normally this would be a staging area, but splatters on the ground indicate it's been used for some other purpose, potentially combat. Bleachers behind the long window have several sapient species sitting in them, or sitting on them. Their arms are bound behind them, and their eyes look forward towards you. In front of them stand the robe and masked figures of the enlightened, 4 wearing yellow robes, holding up smart slabs as if they are filming or photographing you standing in the airlock. Another 2 are in blue robes, and they watch the prisoners. The last, Oppo, in her red robes, looks towards you. She reaches down and taps her smart slate. You can hear the electric static as a speaker system carries through into your chamber. Ah, welcome. I knew that so-called heroes would come to save the captives that we've taken. Now, in front of a whole galaxy, watching on compliment, I wish to prove Golmok's superiority. If any of you wish to make the attempt to hear Golmok's voice to be saved by his righteous might, we welcome you. If any hold thought of heroics of working against Golmok's power, then we will unleash death upon you. Make your choice. Do you come to be saved by Golmok, or do you come to defy him?
Well, we did kill like 8 of them and bring down a ship without a ship. So, I mean, I'm just saying, I don't think death is as absolute as this red robe is claiming.
Personally, not looking into joining a cult.
Yeah, I would agree.
Brainwashing is not my cup of tea.
Rob, Koba, Bebu?
I don't know why we didn't have this conversation before we got off the ship. I'm just saying.
I mean, we didn't know it was. I thought there was dinner involved.
Oh, there is dinner involved. For my laser
Excuse me,
beasts.
this is a private conversation. Excuse me, we're having a group huddle.
You've heard of microphones before, right? We just turn the volume up when you start whispering.
Right, but I'm just saying it's rude.
I hardly think that's the point, right? In any case, salvation by Golmok or destruction by Golmok? Which do you choose?
Golmok didn't salvation those dudes we killed back on that other planet. Heyo, up top, anyone? 4 hands go up in the air. Anyone?
Vastro will hit 2 of them.
Bebu's got you.
Yeah.
Rob will look at his hand and then slowly extend a finger.
Excellent. Boom. That means no, in case you didn't get it. We choose death.
Oh yes, I was giving you time to do whatever that was.
It was like a classic heroic pump up so we could whip your... Oh, God.
And she just reaches down and pushes another button, and you hear a little whir sound, like a door opening, but you don't see anything immediately.
I mean, it's not the door behind us, right?
It is not the door behind us. You are not just ejected into space. But for reasons unknown, I'm going to bring up the old initiative order here. I'm going to push a button or two. And I'm going to ask you guys to go ahead and roll those initiatives.
All right.
Roll perception. No, I didn't do the initiative thing. Because that's what I am right now. I am super perceptive.
I'm gonna
Consistent.
But I'm also gonna roll.
Oh, fuck. I forgot to click on Rob.
Well, it doesn't add you in. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't add you. You just have to update
Okay.
the rolls as you go. Babu bringing in the 8. Koba bringing in the 3. Wait, Babu? Why'd you roll twice? Did I miss something up here?
It's the second one because the first one wasn't initiative.
I'm not seeing us on the turn order.
Oh, crud. Those are the old turn orders. Never mind, I gotta add the new turn orders. Sorry, I forgot Roll20 has turn order specific by page. That was me. Tina, you're in an airlock. Ahead of you is a large room that looks to be made for killing heroes. You've been identified as a hero, and Oppo said the word laser beast. Because, I mean, that's a good combination of words. What you doing?
So this whole door's open. I think she'll move to this corner and maybe try to peek around, see if she can.
Certainly may do so.
Like, see if she can see what is
Okay.
around. Perception.
You make your way forward. You can go ahead and roll one of your skills if you wish to take in some more information. Difficulty is only A2, or complexity is only A2.
Going to perception. What she's doing.
And a 1 and a 4 is a success. So you take a quick look around and assessing the situation. You gain advantage. So please add 1 advantage to yourselves for your quick assessment and reporting back on the situation. You do see that this area is basically laid out as a killing floor. And looking off to the side, you see light spilling out from a doorway or window here and another over here. So that seems to be where something is going to be coming from. You do see shut doors here and across the way here, and a large window along the back wall, but that does not appear to be an entrance, just a viewport. And you've seen other space stations, you know the basic design. Generally, things would come in, dock here, product would be unloaded and moved about, and up here is where the brass would sit and watch things happen.
So this is a higher up level.
That is a higher up level, yes.
I don't know, there's no, like, is there hold actions here? Like,
No hold actions.
Okay, so that'll be it for now.
Okay.
She's gonna wait and see if anything comes up.
Sure can.
Or maybe, actually...
Yep.
Could she try to stealth?
Sure.
Against whatever's coming into the room?
You may certainly hide. Go ahead and roll a stealth.
Is that a 3?
Your difficulty would be a 3 now.
Okay.
Wait, you have a special ability if you end your turn in stealth, don't you?
Natural sneak. When you end your turn in combat without failure, you can make a complexity 2 stealth check to hide. So yes.
You got it. So complexity 2, if you would. Ooh, 2 and a 2 is a double. That is a fail. Would you like to give me a die, or would you like to roll on the chart?
I'll give you a thing.
All right. The DM now has 3 collapse points available to him. That is going to bring an end to the turn, and that's going to bring up Robe. Robe, standing in the airlock. Tina, not being so sneaky over there. What you doing?
So are they like particularly aggressing, or?
They have said that you're about to be killed, and she has used the word laser and beast in one sentence, but you don't see the enemy yet.
Those are some pretty fair arguments to being aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
Rob is going to look down at Vebu besides him and just kind of open up his hatch into him, to the mecha.
Okay.
And just like, do you consent?
Oh my god, I didn't think I was gonna get eaten by a giant robot today.
Not exactly how it works.
Awesome. Let's go.
And Rob combines with Vebu.
Furikuri. You're eaten by a giant robot. I don't know what the effects of this are. Please describe them to me.
Combine. You move into a space with one willing ally and combine around them into armor. Your ally cannot be targeted by attacks while you are combined. If you have 0 health levels or more, or you move out of the square with your ally, you are no longer combined. You may only combine with one ally at a time. If the ally you have combined with takes a move action, you move with them.
Ooh. Cool.
His armor.
So you are his armor. You cannot move, but I think you can still take more actions. It didn't sound like you can't. Are there any other actions you're taking?
I will use my... I'm not gonna particularly aggress.
Okay. So turnover?
He's still assessing the situation, so yeah. After combining Vebu, he's going to like stand tall, stand proud, make Vebu look Vebu can't really be seen, can he?
I mean,
Rob is gonna make sure he looks impressive.
Okay.
Would that be a decorum roll?
Sure. Decorum sounds good.
For advantage?
You strike a hero pose?
Would that be Complexity 2, because I haven't really done anything yet, or?
Is Combine in action?
It doesn't explicitly say.
We'll say it is for now, and so we'll make it a difficulty 3. Move number 2, so difficulty 3, and we'll figure that one out later.
Oh, it is still on initiative mode. But it's a
right.
2, 7, and a 6.
7 and 6 is all good. Please add one more advantage. You now have 2 advantage available to you in the round. Robe, anything else?
That'll be all.
All right. Standing tall, standing proud in hero mode. The enlightened figurines behind the glass wall focus on you, and you can see flashes pop as your hero mode is preserved for antiquity as your murder approaches. Zote, anything you got?
Sure.
Okay,
well, first things first, I'm gonna take some. First I'm gonna put myself in an action square. Is that okay?
Huh?
I'm just not quite in the square. You know what I mean? So I bump past Rob. Take 4 squares when I'm moving out to here. Which of the 2 doors did you say were open? These ones?
So there's a door here, and a door here that you probably just can't see, but you can see the light spilling out. These are closed.
Okay. All right.
So,
seeing that, then I take my other 3 squares of movement over to here.
okay.
Can I prepare an attack? Is that an option I have?
I can't think of a way you would prepare an attack. You could set a trap, but you've got no target.
So it's not like in say in 5e where I can say
no hold
if a
actions.
laser beast. Okay. Then I'm gonna say laser beast sounds scary, but knowing these guys, they're probably more flash than actual substance, you know? And attempt to give us an advantage? Is that a possibility? Can I do that?
You could certainly try and take another bravado advantage. I believe the number of advantages are limited by your livability on your spaceship, though. Is that a thing? Hang on.
I don't know. I also don't know what the livability of our spaceship.
I think it's just for novas.
Is that what
Combat,
that is?
I don't think there's a limit on advantages.
And look. Skill roll. Shared pool used by any player during the encounter. Specific. Advantage is limited by the livability rating of the team's spaceship.
Dope.
So it is limited.
4.
Your team spaceship has a nice lounge. Has a few things going on in there.
It's got technically 2 lounges, thank you very much.
It does have technically 2 lounges. It's got a nice cryo chamber, so that's at least 3 for you. There's 4. You've got the healing bay. No help there. MI power expander, probably not. Heavy cannons don't really add to the livability, so you're limited on advantage. I
and
know.
it's +1 because of Zote.
And +1 because of Zote, so 5.
Okay.
So you can have up to 5.
All right.
With advantage to it for now.
So Zote, if you Zote, if you wish to do your dance, you could add more advantage.
I'm not gonna dance.
Okay.
Darn.
But I am. Can I was verbally flexing on them. Can I literally flex on them with athletics?
You can
To
literally
give us, advantage.
All right. I'm gonna say straight out flexing. That
Uh-huh.
really feels like a power move to me. Okay. That does feel like a power move to me.
That is fair.
I'm willing to accept something other than a straight up flex, though. I mean,
Well, it was words combined with the flex.
okay, words combined with the flex. So
right. It's not just a straight flex.
Okay.
It's more of a thinking man's flex.
More of the thinking man's flex.
The big think.
Right.
So
Will.
I'm still hearing a lot of flex, and I think flex. I
is
think
merely
power.
a portion.
So-
a portion of the overall.
A portion of the overall. What is the overall look, though?
Okay, it's flexing. All right, fine. I'll roll power.
All right.
My power is actually
4
not-
arms.
I do have 4 arms.
That's a lot of arms.
Does that lower it to difficulty 1?
That does not. It's
Okay. What's that? Boom. Oh yeah, flex on him so hard.
yeah, you are flexing full. Now, you do have a lot of arms, so you could
I see.
keep flexing
Uh-huh.
for more
So you're saying-
advantage.
So I could do the overhead bicep flex and
You
then
could-
and then the other underhand tricep and back flex at the
You-
same time is what you're
you,
saying.
you could hit it all. I mean, you could even do several leg poses at the same time. I mean, you're thinking arms, you got all those legs to work with too.
I do have 4 legs to work with.
Antennae.
You're tempting me, Casey.
I'm trying real hard to, yeah.
I'm gonna do it. We're gonna go for another one. We're gonna go for 2 advantages of a turn.
Send it!
No! Darn it!
Oh.
I should
Now,
have taken the bait.
now, does he sacrifice an advantage now to try and get rid of that roll? Or do we start rolling on the chart? Or does he give me another die?
You have 3.
Chart it.
Right?
I have
Charted.
3 now.
Yeah, I'm saying chart. I'm going chart.
You're going to chart. Alrighty. Let's see that chart.
I'm suddenly alone. Oh no! That's not scary.
So, as you flex,
Uh-huh.
you stumble
no.
forward,
No.
and suddenly, You are alone.
Oh no! Oh no! I should talk those laser beasts, but now there's 2 of them and 1 of me.
So,
Suddenly, he is alone. The airlock snaps shut as his flexing carries him just far enough across that they're able to single him out. Zote. Laser beasts get a turn.
I'll be fine.
You will be fine. Sure, absolutely. Now, laser beasts, being lasers, you know,
And beastly.
and beastly,
Mm-hmm.
move really fast.
Are they Okay, I have a question. You said they're laser beasts.
They
Are
are
the beasts
laser.
made out of lasers?
They are beasts made out of lasers.
Oh, that's...
They are laser beasts.
Yo, that's dope.
I wouldn't say they're made out of lasers, though. They're more made out of, like, plasma or something.
It's lasers moving in really tight circles, so they look kind of plasma-y, but it's lasers. I mean,
Okay,
they're
I'll
slow,
accept
Plasma
that.
beast sounds.
Yeah, that's true.
they're slow lasers. But this particular laser beast would like very much to shoot you.
Okay, that
and
seems fair.
and it hurls a portion of its form at you. A laser flicking out.
It's not a sustainable strategy, I feel like.
It might not be, but it doesn't think that far ahead. Complexity 3. Laser attack coming at you. So, how are you going to evade or otherwise
Now-
avoid this damage?
There's a part of me that really wants to flex out of the way. I'll be
I
honest.
mean, it would be.
I would be lying if that
Bidding
was
for
not
what
the
has
case.
already happened.
However, Zote is going to, having seen his flex fail him once, is not going to push it, and is instead going to merely attempt to physically dodge out of the way as one of an athletic persuasion bite.
I can see where this would go. All right, let's see it.
Booyah, baby.
That is a 3. The laser, despite the speed, goes wide. However, another of the beasts comes surging out. What just happened? Ooh, I didn't know it could do that. Did you know if you right-click and drag, it scrolls? I didn't.
What do you mean? Yeah,
Wait a
it moves the
second.
map around? Yeah, that's why I move the
Wait a
map
second.
around 99% of the time.
Hang on. I'm dragging, and I'm right-clicking, and it's putting the dots down. Okay, cool. All right. Laser Beast rushes forward. Another laser bolt. And then a second laser bolt comes flickering towards you. I need 2 complexity 2 to resist the double barrage from the second laser beast.
Okay. We're doing 2 complexity 2s.
2 complexity 2s.
Now, I would like... now, I did pick up something pretty... to use a callback word, bitchin'.
Okay.
On there, which is space nunchucks. Could I perhaps Bruce Lee my way and use the nunchucks, the space nunchucks, to deflect the lasers?
I
Is that an option?
believe you could.
Booyah.
If there was a ping pong table, it'd
Uh,
even be better, but you've just got the nunchucks.
Okay, I'll accept that. So two melee rolls to try to deflect them.
Okay.
Bloom.
Yeah?
Boom.
Yeah.
And that's another Nova point.
Laser beasts delayed for the moment as they circle at very fast speeds, shedding bits at you. Vebu, you hear pew pew as laser blasts scorch the walls, but there's a big old airlock door in the way.
Yeah, that's gonna be a problem.
And you are in a mecha.
Problem.
And you are in a mecha.
What do we
It might
have?
be-
3 advantages right now?
You have 3 advantages right now.
Just so I can mark that in there. All right. Combine. Sorry, I looked at it. I just didn't think about not having my bare hands free, because this was gonna be.
Should get an extra pair, dude. It's super
Yeah.
sweet.
I mean, there's nothing that says it doesn't restrict it. I mean,
I think
there-
your movements go. I'd have to assume they would just go through Rob.
Yeah, basically, you guys get all the benefits of being each other.
And that doesn't quite happen unless I use a Nova point.
Okay.
If I use a Nova point, we use the highest of all of our skills whenever anything ever
I
happens to
gotcha.
either of us. But otherwise, I think we just. I don't know. It doesn't really explain it.
Okay. So let's see here. ROBVAYB. Royboo makes their way up to the door.
That's the worst tea ever. So I'm gonna walk, not necessarily to the spot, to wherever this access panel would be, and then I'm going to channel through my inner Rob, and splice this door open.
Okay. Let's see that happen. We're going to call that one a difficulty of one door's closed, the other door is open. Only going to be a complexity of 3. Oh, crap. I lied. You're in combat. Complexity's 2. Do that again. That's better. And what would you like to accomplish as you splice this computer?
Is there any way to make this door lock open?
There is!
I thought you were just gonna say lock close, like just lock it. Period.
Deuces.
Sorry, we're leaving.
We out! The door lock drops away as you pull the emergency override. What you doing now?
So,
All right. So my next action is. Okay, never mind. Yeah, that's right. It's in combat, so we're all good there. Is there? I thought there was something where you could gain positive conditions by making a crapload of actions during your turn.
Yes, if you do, if you push your luck, you get a crap load of actions, and then you get a positive condition, and that is if you do. Monkey, it just lost it.
Well, that's processing.
It's push your luck. Yep, excuse me, I lost it. Finding it.
Sorry, guys. I have a good idea of what we're gonna do here, though. Hi, Zote.
hey, what's up?
Sorry about that second long of a blackout there. I wasn't at the door when they shut it.
Ah, it's fine.
It's not fine as those 2 laser beasts.
Yeah,
What's
it'll
the-
be-
what-
the-
If you
What's up with that
if you successfully take 5 or more actions on one turn, you gain a positive condition.
What's that do?
A positive condition will add a plus a -1 to your complexity, so effectively a +1 to your benefit for any future actions. So, for example, if you take 5 actions and successfully do them in one turn, you will then gain a bonus to all future actions until that positive runs away.
Okay.
So if you push your luck, you can make life better for everyone. But you'd be rolling at probably a difficulty of 6 by the time you made that fifth effort.
Okay.
Let's see it happen. Do it.
We're gonna go ahead and make a laser rifle attack. Is there a clear difference between these two, or is the number just a personal indication?
They are just indicators.
I'm gonna
this
shoot
is
the one
the-
that's closer.
That is Bosco. Bosco the Laser Beast. You fire upon Bosco the Laser Beast. And what did you fire upon Bosco the Laser Beast with?
Laser rifle. Sorry, I think that's the sheet glitch.
That's
again,
the sheet glitching. That's okay.
but it's the right number.
Yes, Bosco the Laser Beast thanks you for adding to his mass.
Okay, so it's gonna be like that.
the beam enters into its body, you can see it visibly slow down and curl and join in the other lasers dancing about within its form. It wasn't a failure, so you can keep acting, but it did not seem to have the effect you wished.
Do not continue to do that.
Not planning on it, body armor. And then I'm going to make a athletics check to move again.
Okay. You may certainly do so.
Is that a loose piece of like a girder or something on the ground?
There's a bit of a wall that has fallen down. It is a barricade style.
Rob, in the last 3 weeks, has anybody ever seriously talked about your lifting capacity?
Oh.
Okay, I'm gonna look at that on the ground, and I'm gonna be Rob and be like, "Can you pick that up?"
Yes.
Excellent.
I'm sorry. So hold on, give me some context real fast. I was distracted by something.
Concrete wall part. Do you think you could pick that up?
Yes.
Excellent. I want to move over there, and then I want to use Rob to swing it around like a Olympic discus and throw it at one of the wolves.
Sure. Absolutely. I'm going to say tabor toss other than discus just because of the style of it, but yeah. Now, is that a ranged attack you're attempting to make, or are you closing the distance once you're there?
I mean, yeah, I guess it would be a lot easier to close the distance and then spin around. And I'd like to do that, with my pirouette training that I took earlier, so that I can get a nice, but sports-related spin.
Sports-related pirouette, 100%. You got it.
Okay.
That is not a success.
I want to burn an advantage, and here we go, guys.
An 8 makes that a success.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yep. The laser beast seems really annoyed by this. Its form somewhat dispersed by the large concrete barrier passing through it. But it's still there.
Does it look like it's getting more lasers from anywhere? Like when it goes through it and the lasers kind of shift, does it look like it's getting any extra outside source?
It does not appear to be drawing power from anywhere else. It seems to be its own self-contained mass. The only thing that seemed to add to it recently was the laser blast that was fired.
Okay.
Now, is that 5 successes in a row?
Computers.
No, that was a double roll on the computer, the first one. So that's 4 successes at this point. So 4 successes. Are you going for number 5?
Yeah, I'm just gonna try to boost Rob up for next turn and use computers and try to get an advantage.
Trying to give him an advantage with computers. Difficulty is a 6.
Gotta burn advantages to make advantages.
Yes.
A 2 is a success. You gain advantage, and you pick up a positive condition. The positive condition, I believe, is going to be on the computer side, as that has featured twice already. Please add a minor positive condition to your computer skills, as you are piloting the heck out of this big old bot. Vebu, you gonna go for number 6?
No, that's a hard pass. We're gonna go ahead and I'll just be like, okay, I can't. Also, next turn I might explode in like a 25-foot radius if things are really bad.
What?
Just a heads up, Rob.
I forgot to mention I am living
Acknowledge.
C4.
That is a faulty power cell you have just grabbed yourself, Rob. Koba, what are you doing?
I'm gonna see if I can do my Nova by
Okay.
doing a cool thing. And then the Nova thing that I'm doing is... Can I click that? Doesn't seem to work like that.
What is the cool Nova thing we are attempting to do?
Oh, it's kind of lengthy. I was kind of hoping I could click it and it would just fucking show up, but that's too much. Essentially, just trying to... Essentially, spend one Nova point to split into 2 equal halves. Share a
Okay.
mental connection, see through each other's eyes. Each half of the hive has the same hit level before I split -1 and keeps any conditions that I had. Each moves at its own movement speed, but shares pool of actions. And then there's a bunch of stuff that, you know, rules for if I die or rejoining and blah, 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 blah. But for now, I'm just trying to separate myself. And then I also have in a basic ability that whenever I spend a Nova point, I gain 1 advantage. So there's that also. And I'm going to spend, after doing that, I'm going to use each one's movement to move up not directly behind anybody, but separate. And then add 1 advantage to the pool. And that is all.
Wait, and that is all?
Yep, that's it.
Okay. That seemed like a light turn. Tina.
So, lasers are a bad idea for laser things.
Lasers are a bad idea for laser things we've discovered. That was worked out for us conveniently by Zote.
I didn't
No.
work that out.
Febu, sorry.
My bad.
He did find out, however, cement pillars are effective, so...
I'm not exactly sure how these work.
Mm,
Her vampire knuckles
okay.
that drain energy.
Yes. So basically, they are spiked into your fingers to draw magical energy from you so that they punch hard, feeling your life force.
Okay. Drain energy from the wielder. Okay. So that's just a melee. So what is that? So it punches harder than I would be if I was just punching with my normal fists.
Yes, correct.
How does that translate into hurting it?
That is an excellent question, which I don't remember the answer to. Give me just a moment. Concealable, draining, and draining means... Draining means weapons with draining qualities siphon life energy from the wielder. When you hit with this weapon, you can choose to deal 2 damage. If you do so, you take 1. So you can give up a point of your life to do a point of damage, extra damage to it, if you choose.
Put 2 things here. Good idea yet. Well, first thing she's gonna do, because these guys are like focused on everything going on over here, right? So I want to try to sneaky and
Okay.
get advantage, get back over here. So
You got it. Go ahead and give me a sneak complexity 2.
sneak.
5 and a 3 is a pass. And
Ooh.
uncheck your initiative when you get a chance.
Oh, whoops.
So you are behind it, and you have added an advantage back to it. And I believe that keeps us up at 3.
So
I think we're at because we were at 2 at the end of mine, 3 with Sin, and then 4.
4. Okay, so yeah, 4. Sorry, yep, you got it.
So she is gonna. This seems like a bad idea because things are energy, but either way, it's what she could do. She'll give it a shot. She's gonna try to knife it.
Okay.
So this would be 3? Complexity 3?
Complexity 3, yep. Oob. Are you spending an advantage? Are you rolling on the fail? Or
I
you
will
giving me a
spend an
die?
advantage.
Okay, go ahead and roll a die and don't get a 2 or a 4. That is neither a 2 or a 4. You succeed in stabbing into the laser beast. You deal it a point of damage. Lasers reflecting wildly from your blade. Anything else you're doing?
She's kind of like closing her eyes and like stabbing and like seeing if it hurts her in the process because this is like it's made of lasers and it kind of feels like it would hurt.
It did not scorch you in a way that you noticed.
Okay. I think that will be it now because she was focusing very hard and wondering if it was going to kill her for trying to do that.
Okay, it's probably going to try and kill you. It may not do it immediately.
But I mean, like, her action killing herself in the attempt to help.
You got it. Robe, you have a big cement pillar in your hand.
You know, what else to do with a giant cement pillar than to smack downwards?
You know, that seems reasonable.
So, Rob is going to... Rob is gonna just use raw power to try and smash the laser beast. Ooh.
Raw power works out for you. You smack down laser beast, taking a point of damage. Gonna go for attack number 2?
Question about that.
Uh-huh.
Are there attacks of opportunity in this?
There are no attacks of opportunity in this. At least none that I've noticed.
Although I just had a much better idea than I originally did.
Okay.
All right. So, since Bebu. That was a struggle. Since Vebu is still technically in the same square, if Rob moves here, do you think that applies to the whole we're no longer...
I think you're okay with that one.
Alright. So Rob is just gonna kind of...
square, yeah.
Rob is just gonna shift over a little bit. And then using... So what does this like cement thing that he's holding look like exactly?
So if you think of like the concrete barriers that they sort of lay down as like temporary speed bumps.
Ah, okay.
Little taller than that. So, but yeah.
All right. In that case, Rob is going to heft it like a javelin and toss it through both.
Okay. Aggressive plan. Let's see it. That is going to be range. Now that's going to be... You can only attack one thing at a time unless your weapon specifically says you have area effect. So that will be 2 attacks. But I like it, so feel free to do it. But it will be an attack on the first and then an attack on the second to make them land.
All right, bet. So, first one.
That is not a pass.
And I think we're out of advantage.
Do
we have one?
Still have
3.
Yeah.
We still have 3. All right, I was keeping bad. All right. I'm gonna use one.
All right. Don't roll a 3 or an 11.
Yeah. Ooh.
That is neither of those. You disperse the first laser beast
And then the second attack as the concrete brick continues traveling.
You got it. Let's see
At a
it.
higher complexity, I assume.
Yes, please.
Who?
No problem there, though. Laser Beast is looking a little worn. However, your concrete brick is now way across the room. What you doing?
Gonna draw his sonic caber and then hold position.
Okay. Zote?
All right. Now that I have my friends have shown up, I'm going to start attacking this guy.
Aha!
First things first.
With the power of friendship.
The power of friendship, I move to there,
Okay.
and with the power of friendship, I hit him with my space chucks.
Complexity is going to be a 2. Space nunchucks are going to do some whomping damage.
They are indeed. How many? We have 2 advantages?
You two have 2 advantages.
I'm going to spend 1 to deal an extra damage. That's 2 damage. That is an ability I have. That's not just something advantage does.
Okay.
I have the ability heavy hit. When I hit someone with a melee attack, I can spend 1 advantage to deal 1 extra damage. And we're going to hit him again.
All right, give me 1 second here. Because there's a chance you might be beating a dead horse at this point.
Oh, okay. Well, dead laser beast.
A little bit of both. I mean,
It's a horse laser beast?
could be.
That's
It's a
spookier.
beast. It's a beast. Beasts can be lasery.
That's so true.
Wahaha. As you squish the laser beast, you do destroy it. However, the pools of laser beast lasers merge and rise again.
Phase 2.
The GM is now at 0 collapse points. As the new laser beast stares you down. It is still your turn.
I'm gonna hit it again.
All
That was my
right,
plan to begin with.
there you go.
Let's keep going.
Oh, that's not a keep going roll.
So I want to spend our 1 advantage. 2 damage if I hit it though.
Look at that laser beast coming at you next. I mean, maybe
I'm
not
gonna
you.
do it. I'm gonna do it. It's 2 damage. That's a lot of damage. I'm gonna do it.
Not a 10 or a 7.
Oh come on! You've got to be kidding me. Bummer.
Would you like to give me a collapse point, or would you like that table?
You have 0 now, right?
I have 0 now.
I think it's safer to give you 1 than to take a collapse.
Oh, you think it is, do you?
I do at the moment. Then it's not my
Okay.
fault when someone gives you the 3rd one.
Fair
Making it a
enough.
laser beast.
So, as you smash down on the laser beast, the bodies of the 2 meld and reform. A new one standing in its place. It seems to have an excess of lasers. It bristles, and suddenly 4 burst forth, launching towards Zote, who destroyed the most recent of it. Zote, I need 4 complexity 2 skill checks to avoid damage.
4 complexity 2 skill checks. All right.
4 complexity 2 skill checks.
All right. I'm gonna just stick with straight dodging then. If we're gonna do
Okay.
it this way. So, do I get extra swag points if I use a different skill for each one for each
Yeah.
dodge?
You do if you consider it moving towards Nova swag.
I do. It is pretty. It is. But no, I'm gonna just use athletics because it's a good skill and I don't want to get hit 4 times in the face.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. 1 dance out of the way. Yes.
Oh, he made it look too easy. The hedgehog blast goes wild. The laser beast runs away.
That's not what I expected it to do.
Vebu.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's not what I was expecting. Let's go, Rob. It's gonna be fun, I promise.
Onwards.
Rob is like the black stallion over there.
What you guys doing in there?
Anything immediately popping out, or is this just like another airlock room?
Another airlock room, storage area off the initial. There's a door on the left-hand side. There is the windows facing outwards. And that's about what jumps out at you. It looks as though the laser beasts were contained here up until they were released. There's a couple of scorch marks on the walls and on the floor, but no signs of food or life other than the beast now hunkered down in the corner, angrily looking at you.
Or this is the light. Like, if we do this, we can speak to the light. Yeah, I'm just gonna be like, Rob, let's just punch it in the face. Let's just do that. It'll be fun.
Let's just punch it in the face. That's a punching it in the face.
And then the rest of this, the rest of this second here might be a little bit weird. And then
Let's
I'm
get
gonna
weird.
kind of like, because I'm inside of him and I know stuff about computers and I feel really good about it. I'm gonna interface like with my tablet to try to get him to punch it again using my computers.
Okay.
And that's gonna reduce it down because of the minor advantage.
Yep. That's another hit. Yeah, absolutely. You're just playing video games. You're like, punch, kick. It's all in the mind.
All right. 2 points. And then are these pillars in the ground?
Those are pillars running floor to ceiling. You could tear them out of the ground if you tried. I mean they're not important. Who needs structure? They're destined to get broken anyway. I mean, it might as well be you.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll just pull a pillar out of the wall and hit the wolf with it. What could go wrong?
What could go wrong? If you roll 100, the worst could happen. But let's see what. Oh boy!
All right,
The worst thing that could possibly.
Worst thing that could possibly happen.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead and pull a card so we can see what the worst thing that could possibly happen.
Let's go ahead and pull that card. You must choose between hurting yourself or an ally. I believe as you tear that loose, it's just going to bring something down, and you can either have it crush a portion of Rob or yourself by jumping out of the way. It's going to take you twisting in a way that you just can't. His limbs can handle it. Yours can't. Are you sacrificing your limb from a twist?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll do that. That makes sense to me. Because I'd much rather twist in a way that isn't comfortable for me than have something fall on him and then have him fall on me.
Got it. Go ahead and take 1 point of damage to yourself, if you would. As you wrench your shoulder, allowing Rob to move in a way that gets his arm out of the way, but costs you, because of your ror-nan and flexible nature, the popping of a joint. And the Kokobas, what you doing?
We're out of advantages, right?
You are out of advantages at the moment.
Cool. I'll just move these guys to hide over here, and I will stealthily try and give ourselves advantage.
Okay. You have stealthily given yourself 1 advantage. You doing anything else?
No, that's it.
Okie dokie. Koba is playing it subtle today. Tina. Oop, Athy, you there?
Sorry.
Mute. Yep.
I was saying, like, what's happening up here with these guys? Are they looking agitated, or are they?
Oh no, they're having a great time. They're filming this. They got their high def cameras out, trying to get multiple angles.
So they don't seem to care who wins. It's just a big.
Oh, it's just a big spectacle for them. They don't seem worried that you're beating the laser beasts.
Somewhat unsettling, yes. But, there were doors here.
There are doors on either side. Currently shut, and you would imagine locked, but no one's tried one yet.
Come on, Koken. 5. And I think an athletics push to get to here and
Sure.
see what's going on.
You got it.
Athletics. Where is he?
Oh no.
He trips and falls.
Oh no, wait, hang on. No, you're only at 2. Because you just did your free move. Give me a roll at complexity 2.
Oh. Okay.
Yep. No, you made it harder than you need to be. There you go. That's fine.
So she gets there.
Little false start, maybe hyperextended the knee a little bit, but
5,
nothing you can't handle.
10. So it's the same amount of movement?
Mm-hmm.
3, 4.
Oh, you get inside, you can see that laser beast is looking rough. All bristly and leisurely.
Didn't hurt her last time.
Did
She's
not.
just gonna run in and just like jump up, try to stab her knife down into it again.
100% sensible move. Let's see it happen. Ooh, it was a sensible. Wait, difficulty's now going to be a 3.
Oh.
Nope, sorry. You
So
got it.
just roll one more.
Sure, one more d4. Don't get a 4 or a 2. Ooh,
Oh.
that is a 2. Would you like to give me a collapse point, or would you like to roll on the chart?
I'll roll on the chart.
Everybody likes this chart. Uh-oh, something is going to pull you away from the action. What is going to pull you away from the action? I think it's going to be... A stray laser has caused a small hull breach. Tina, there's a hull breach. A lot of air is going to start rushing out real fast if somebody doesn't do something. I think you have those slap patches on you to fix items, correct?
I do.
I think that's what you're going to need to do. So, next round, if you don't do that, really bad stuff will start happening.
Where's this hole?
It's over here somewheres. We'll figure that out as necessary. Probably right around here where the seam might be a little weak.
Okay.
Lasers shooting all over the place, causing crazy stuff. People tearing poles out of the ground. No, I know where it is. It's where somebody grabbed a structural pole and ripped it out of the ground. That's probably not a good idea. So yeah, right there, right by Rob. But Robe, you're standing over it too.
I was gonna say floor or ceiling.
A little of both. A little from column A, a little from column B, because he broke both column A and B. But so Tina, I think a little hyperactivity to get a slap patch up and down, and then you'll be set. But in the meantime, Robe, you got part of a pipe in your hand. What are you doing?
Well, we're just gonna have a repeat of the concrete. Just gonna try and smash it into the beast.
Certainly may.
Ah.
Whoa. That is a pair of ones. And I don't believe there are any advantage points kicking around. Wait. Koba, did you get us an advantage point?
Yeah.
I believe you did. Do you want to use it or not?
Yeah, we're gonna use it. Hopefully avoid 2 fails in a row.
Don't roll a 1.
I accidentally rolled 2, but...
That's alright. The 6 is not a 1, so you are good
Yep.
to go. You smash down on the laser beast. It dissipates. As it does, you hear other doors opening. And that is where we're going to pause for this evening. And pick back up next week with the dramatic conclusion of Burn Bryte's Burning Daylight. Congratulations. What?
It's like, will we get blown out an airlock?
Lots of things could happen. Depending on Tina's quick thinking with some slap patches. And how nasty are these acolytes and Oboe? But in the meantime, onlookers are onlooking. You have defeated the laser beasts. People around the galaxy are perhaps celebrating, perhaps ignoring you. Who knows? There's a lot of stuff on the Complanet. And, there are full-on cat people. So cat videos have hit a whole new level in this galaxy. Everybody having fun?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool. Any questions, comments, concerns? Anybody hit a story checkbox along the way in this last half? I saw Kyle did mention that his indulgence did manage the one there. Anybody else, if you think it up, holler it out.
Nope.
Okie doke. Then we will pick up next week in the space station on the edge of the burn. Laser beast defeated. A couple of holes in the hole. Probably not good. But we'll see how that turns out. Thank you all for playing.
Thank you for running.
Absolutely. Still working the kinks out of this system.
Yeah, it's a little unusually unpolished, I would say, in many ways.